Hola, 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 mi gente. I hope y'all feeling good. It is Friday, bitches. We made it. We made it yet again, yet again. Let's jump right into this because people are already spicy. They're already spicy about the topic. I was like, calm down, baby. It's Friday. It is Friday. Relájate. Relax, relax. Welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. Friday's episode. Okay, hi. I am your favorite devil's advocate, Jen. You can reach me on all social media platforms on the block with Jen, TikTok and Instagram. I do Facebook, but it's not my favorite. I plan to cancel those pages. So meet me on TikTok and Instagram, and for business on the block with Jen at Gmail. What kind of business, Jen? We can collaborate. You can drop us topics. You can talk about my panel. You can let me know if you want to do something with them. Whatever the business is, sponsorships on the block with Jen at Gmail. If you want us to pull up to another panel, to another channel, on the block with Jen at Gmail. Okay. Guess what else is on the block with Jen? My Cash App. If you want to be discreet, you want to sponsor the show, you just want to send me some chips and you don't want nobody to know, bars, you can hit me at Cash App on the block with Jen. And thank you so much for the people, okay, who throw me some chips when I'm not on air and you're catching a replay. I salute you. I appreciate you because you don't have to give me jack. But I'm glad that you felt the need to, I want to support this girl and this panel. I like what they do. So that's Cash App on the block with Jen. If you don't give a damn about being discreet, feel free to super chat me. We will pull your super chat up on the screen and dissect it. You can rebut, contradict, tell us, go to hell, that ain't true. But you have to do it in a super chat or with your face. You're more than welcome to come up on the panel tonight. It's Friday. Maybe you want to let your hair down and put it up, take your bra off, whatever it is you want to do. You could join us on the panel tonight if you want to say it with your face. Now, a lot of people still like hiding behind their avatars. I get it. We respect it, but it's going to cost you. If you want to get up on the panel behind an avatar, then you got to throw some chips into the super chat. Okay, that's how it is. There's a penalty for wanting to come up and hide behind an avatar. It's all good that you want to hide, but you got to pay. Now, what's free is if you come up with your face, because we like faces here, and faces are free. Okay, pause. With that said, let my amazing, amazing panel introduce themselves on this Friday evening. And again, welcome, chat. Hold us down. If you're here for the first time, buckle up, baby. Buckle up. Lily.
Hello. I am Lily of YB Limited. That is the word. That is the letter Y, the letter B, the word limited. And you can find me here on YouTube as well as Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I started my career as a makeup artist and moved over into modeling and acting, and those roles led me here. So here I am.
Musician and music producer Heron DeMarco. You can catch me here as Heron.DeMarco. And I am almost at 50 subscribers. I'm currently at 46. So if four of y'all could just go over there and just click the subscribe button, it would really help a brother out. And you can catch me as Dangerous DeMarco on the IG. You can also catch me as Heron DeMarco on the Spotify and Apple Music.
Hello, everyone. I'm Saint. I'm No Saint. I'm Saint No Saint. You can catch me on YouTube at Saint No Saint, on Instagram at Saint No Saint, TikTok just No Saint. And if you hear a lot of cheering, I think there's some MMA watching going on in the other room. So you may hear a bunch of cavemen jumping up and down.
Hey, we're always down for a good fight. Also, the music that I played during that 10-minute intro is Haran's music. Okay, so he does really mean it when he says, I play guitar for the chicks. If you don't know where to find Haran's link, you can go to my community tab right now. Click on his picture, hit subscribe, and come right back. We'll be here. It's Friday night. We got all night, baby. We here for y'all tonight. It's going to be on and popping tonight. Again, you guys are more than welcome to come up on the screen. If you want to do it behind an avatar, you have to pay. Okay, how much, Jen? How much I got to pay? Because I don't really want to show my face. I didn't do my hair. I feel ugly. Just throw a couple chips at us, okay? And we'll let you come up here with an avatar. If not, you can come up for free with your grill. Thank you for joining us, guys. Let's
What,
get right into this. Let me
what
put
if
it
it's
on.
what if it's the AI version of them?
That's okay too. They still got to pay. Even more so. If you can afford an AI version of you, you got some chips. We just need some of them chips. All right, guys, let's jump right into this. a lot of people are interested in this topic tonight. I didn't know I was going to press this many buttons this early, but okay, here we are. The topic tonight: are Black men more homophobic than other men? Are Black men more homophobic than other men? And I know we're also dealing with the, factor of proximity, right? We can only speak mostly, the people on this panel, with the exception of No Saint, how Black and Latin people behave, right? Because that's all we know. That's what we grew up around. Now we know some white people, but we don't know white people like we know Black and Latin people, right? Because we are the Black and Latin people, and we're related to the Black and Latin people. And some of us have children with the Black and Latin people. We do business with the Black and Latin people. We grew up, they were the neighbors and all that, so we are well versed. However, there's another world beyond us, and, enter No Saint, right? And No Saint, although he tries sometimes, and even George tries to tell us more than we know about ourselves and our environment, they fail miserably, right? Because you can't tell us about us. However, I love a good old college try, and we love No Saint no matter what. But No Saint will have a better eye on white people than we do, right? Because we don't live in that world. So we will ask him, well, No Saint, what do you X, Y, and Z about, the whites, right? And he would know more than us. That's how it works here, but somehow we're able to come together in our own little melting pot, right? And share experiences. So before people say, well, that's not true, understand that everyone has different experiences, okay? And some more than others, all right? Your experience and your reality does not transcend to the populace. I already see a comment that says, I am tired of this narrative that Black people harbor the most homophobic tendencies. It's not us passing those laws. It's not us. You may have a point. We will dissect tonight. Haran, you got something on that?
But I thought the question was if y'all dudes like butt play, how you go into like laws and shit like that. She actually like.
Right, listen, we are going into layers tonight. This is layered. This is not a simple, butt play and whatever. We're going into layers tonight. As you guys saw on the thumbnail, does butt play really make you gay? Why are Black men so homophobic, right? And I asked that question because when the idea of butt play, comes up, automatically there's like, it's gay. That's the reflex. The reflex button is it's gay. But before we get into that, do we have a little fluff for the people?
Oh, because I was ready to get into some things. This is my bag tonight, but okay.
I'll say one thing before Lily says something. I wouldn't necessarily call it gay, but I wouldn't associate it with heterosexual male behavior.
Oh, so we about to get into it anyway, because I wasn't going to get into it. I was going to do the fluff.
Now listen here, chat. Do you want to get straight into the topic tonight? Are Black men more homophobic than other men? It's up to the chat. I am going to let the chat decide. We can talk about fluff. We can talk about Britney Spears and other celebrities. If you want to get right into the topic tonight, throw a 1 in the chat and we'll go straight for the booty holes. We here for y'all tonight. We are here for y'all. What do you want us to do? Y'all want to get straight into the booty play? We will get into the booty play. Order in the court. What do y'all want to do? I hope everyone that's watching hit like and subscribe. Let me put this on subscribers only while y'all decide. Louis Kanye says 1. Who else? If we can get 10 ones in the chat, then we'll go straight to the topic. But you guys decide. Well, my Vegatron said we can mix it. Brittany tried to get in her ex-husband's ass while he was sleeping. I'm not after a man's booty hole. I want sausage. All right. Well, you guys let me know. I see a 3. I see a 1. I see another 1. The more ones we get, we'll just jump right into it. While you guys are deciding that in the chat, let me put this on subscribers only, because a lot of you like to sneak in and talk shit and disappear. And it's no.
Oh, yeah, especially on this topic.
Yeah, you got to pay to play. Okay. So let me put this on subs only, and then we can all hang out together like one big happy family. Okay, let's put you on subscribers only so you can watch and hang out.
Okay, so Misty put up the 10 ones. Let's go into it. Let's go into the
Oh,
ass.
oh. Let's go into the ass.
So-
All right, guys. Sorry, I guess y'all been outvoted. And here's the thing: there are more people watching than want to touch that chat. I respect it. It's okay. You guys can lurk. So you guys let Misty take over. So we're gonna get right into it. So, are black men more homophobic than other men? Does booty play automatically make you gay? I'm sure some of you guys have heard my story and my experiences with that. Therefore, I will table them for later because I'm just gonna be redundant. Louis Kanye's throwing up the peaches. Let's get into the peaches. Lily.
okay, I'm ready to get into this. Answer to the question, a hard yes. A hard resounding yes. Black
Wait,
men.
Lily. I asked two questions.
Okay, okay. No, I was about to clear up the first one.
Okay.
Black men, yeah. Yes, that black men are homophobic more so than others. That is not up for debate tonight with me.
Lily.
Y'all can debate everybody else on this panel, but you will not debate me on this, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second.
Wait, let me interject the question before you continue. Now, devil's advocate, some people may say, oh, it's proximity. That's why you think it's black men. What say you, Lily?
Okay, I love that whole proximity argument. You know, that's one of my favorite arguments because I have had the pleasure and the of living in mostly mixed neighborhoods, but
Okay.
I've also lived in all black neighborhoods and I've also lived in all white neighborhoods, and I currently now live in a more mixture of Puerto Rican and Muslim. Okay.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, exactly. But it's actually not that bad, and that's the funny part about it. I've had all of the experiences, and actually, this is my favorite one. Um, and I'm gonna tell you why, because we know that, and when I say Muslim, I'm talking about Muslim. These folks don't speak English, like the
Okay.
burqas and they straight from the Middle East, right? And I'm surrounded by a lot of that. We already know what they believe, right?
Yes.
We already know what they believe, but they respect me. They respect me. I have never been disrespected. I've never been mocked or anything thrown at me. Anyone pointing and laughing or anything. Nothing ever. Not one time. Been here almost 5 years. When I lived in white neighborhoods, same thing. When I lived in mixed neighborhoods, it was with black men. When I lived in black neighborhoods, it was dangerous. Okay, that's my experience. That is my experience. Now, what else is my experience is that I was born a black man in a black family. I was not born a black boy in a black family. I was raised to be homophobic. I was homophobic, and lived my life up until I realized that I was trans, discovered that I was trans. Because I'd always been trans, but I didn't put all the pieces together. It didn't make sense for me because I grew up in a homophobic home. I didn't have the language. I couldn't speak about it. I knew nothing. But I always knew that I was nothing like the men in my family. That was the one thing I did know. And they always reminded me of that too, right? So that made me very homophobic. And even when how can I put it? There was a point where I identified as a gay male, and that was early on. So from that age to the time that I discovered I was trans, it was very difficult growing up in a black household and growing up around black people. It was the black males, and I say this, and I don't like saying this because I love black men. At the same time, I tell the full story. They are my biggest predators to this date. They're my biggest predators. It's just that simple.
Ish, you could. I see you, Ishmael, in the chat. You could say with your face up on the panel whenever you welcome. I don't know what that emoji mean, but you are welcome. The door's open to
You
come
can
up.
feel free to also tell us how many gay people are actually in the in the Nation of Islam when you actually come up here. So
Haran DeMarco.
If you come up here, you're gonna get asked the hard questions, bro.
You know what though? I'm gonna tell you something else.
Lily,
I'm gonna say a lot of things tonight. I'm gonna say a lot of things tonight.
I'm gonna say a lot of things to do. I'm gonna say
okay. Lily, I do want to ask you something before you continue, because you have a very interesting point of view, obviously. I do want to ask you, though, when you said I grew up in a homophobic home, right?
Yeah.
What did that look like? What did you hear? Give me an example, because I know I grew up, I don't know if, and we're using the word homophobic just so people understand quickly, because there's layers to it, right? Because some people will argue.
I don't even like
just
that word.
because, right? Some people will argue, and we're taking all sides tonight. There's no wrong opinions. No one's going to get attacked. Okay, if you say, you know, I mean, it's an abomination. That's your opinion. I hope you sit well with that. It has nothing to do with anybody else, and vice versa, right? But you know, when people hear the word homophobic, they're like, I'm not homophobic. Just because I don't agree with your life doesn't mean I'm, phobic means scared. I ain't scared of y'all, right? So growing up, I was even taught, before you tell me your experience, I was taught, you know what I mean, that not so much that gay was wrong, but something was wrong with them people. Right.
Yep.
So there would be a lot of jokes. Now with that said, I've never heard in my family because we weren't very religious. Like half of them thought they were Catholic, half of them thought they were Christian, whatever. But I heard jokes, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, and the Spanish words, you're not going to understand them even if I say them. But even like this thing, I literally remember this thing here, and that meant someone was gay. I heard like carpet muncher.
This is the black thing. This is the black thing.
I've seen that. I've seen this. You know what I mean? Oh, he's you know what I mean? I heard carpet muncher, but the Spanish word for it, pata, which is duck. I mean, it really means duck, but like a female duck. So I've heard a lot of words. So it was something that they made fun of, but not so much condemned, but it was made fun of. It was like jokes and jokes and jokes. And just to show a child growing up in a family that's speaking like that, it's going to rub off on your children. So you have to be careful. Now, I didn't rub off on me because I was a weird kid. I was a weird kid myself. So I was just like, what are these adults talking about? So I was never like, oh yeah, she's up. I'm like, I did not get in their affairs. But Lily, tell us, as someone who was born a Black boy, right? And then you identified as a gay Black man. What did you hear in your house growing up before you even, quote unquote, came out? What did you hear? And you were like, oh, I'm never telling them that I'm gay.
The first time it was when I was like 5 and I was at the daycare. And so basically, listen, who you see today is who I've always been, right?
I can see that.
Yeah, this is who I've always been. And so it's no LGBT or whatever. None of that shit was out. There was no language. I had no visuals. No one touched me. None of those things. I had a 2-parent home. So let me get all of those things out of the way. This was me. And so because this was me, I always identified with the girls, and I wanted to be with the girls and all of that stuff, right? And so the daycare provider told my mother, I'm going to say she because I don't use he, but I mean I do, but whatever. She wants to play with the girls, and she won't play with the boys, and she does this and she does that. I was doing the girl shit basically. And my mother, I guess it affected her ego. I saw it different then. I see it completely different now as a 40 plus year old person. Totally different. I see it now. But it was her ego, and that was bruised, so it trickled down to me. And she let me know that it was embarrassing to her, that I wasn't supposed to do that, that she had a boy, she did not have a girl. And that's where it started. Literally, that's the moment I realized that, oh wow, I can't be me. So, but see, what happens is, and I tell people all this all the time, and this goes well beyond the LGBT or queer thing, right? You can't shame anyone into better behavior. You'll just shame them into secrecy, or you'll shame them into hiding. When someone
Mhm.
is who they are, they're going to be who they are. If someone wants to do what they're going to do, they're going to do what they're going to do. They're just going to
Mhm.
do it in secrecy and hiding. So that's what happened to me. That was that moment that I realized, oh, I can't be me. So I'm supposed to do this. Okay, let me do those things. Let me check off these boxes because I think that's what boys are supposed to do.
Mhm.
And so from there, and because I can't help who I am, it was always like, don't hold your fork like that, don't walk like that, don't talk like that, why do you act like that,
Mhm.
why aren't you like your brother,
Mhm.
all of those things. And then another thing my parents used to do, say if we were walking down the street and it was a couple that was obviously queer, they would make derogatory comments about them to me, like, isn't that nasty, isn't that da 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 da, and I'm like,
Mm. Mm.
oh, whoa, oh, and I'm like, hold on, I'm them, they are me. Oh
Yes.
shit, they're
Yes.
wrong, I'm wrong.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, another thing on my list to not tell, not talk about, keep hidden. So, and then when and then I turned into drugs. I turned to drugs because that was the only time that I didn't feel self-conscious. I didn't care what people thought about me. So yeah, it was real, like, it was really, 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 really tough. Like, it's funny because I'm going back here now for this stream, but I
Mhm.
don't really go there anymore because I don't live in that space of trauma and pain and like, oh my God, these people hurt me. So when I tell the story, I really don't want anyone out here, poor Lily and all that other shit. Like,
Mhm.
I don't live there. I don't live there. That's that at all. So, but I can tell this story and stuff like that because I know that there's people who are still living there. There's people in their 40s and 50s and 60s still
Absolutely.
living there. So
Absolutely. Let me pay some bills. Thank you so much, Louis Cognier, for the super chat this Friday night. Louis Cognier says the most homophobic is the ones that are in the closet.
they got the best dicks.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
just saying.
oh.
All that
All
I'm just
anger.
right.
saying. Yeah, boy, they be putting it down. I'd be like, shoot,
That
when I hear that homophobic talk, I'd be like, child.
anger.
Thank you so much for the super sticker on this Friday night YouTube press. Thank you. Appreciate you. Um, so, fellas, do you want to say anything? Because I'm in the mood to talk tonight. So I will pause if you have something to
Absolutely.
say. Okay.
Absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
I have you all know I come from a Jamaican family, which is
No.
an extremely homophobic and hypermasculine culture.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised to believe that homosexuals should die, and
Mm-hmm.
I was always against that idea. I mean, you can live your life a particular way. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle, but death, you know what I mean, and you're not hurting anyone. It just didn't really sit well with me. Also, I always felt that Black people were just the last group to tell people who deserve to die for being different.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's how I always perceived it. So I always saw it as, well, there was a time when motherfuckers thought that we should die because we were just literally of a different hue. But anyway, let's just get down to brass tacks. In the Black community, the black community is very conservative. So any ideas about sex, period, outside of, you just pulling your dick out and just beating the pussy to hell. Anything else outside of that is considered weird, that white shit, or fucking gay. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? For instance, if we can recall Jonathan Majors when he took that photo shoot, when he had on that pink shit on
Lily.
and lips. Oh, Jesus Christ.
But how you guys doing?
We're
How
great.
Hey,
How are you?
Caligula.
I'm
How are
good.
you?
I'm alright.
you
Suspicious.
doing?
What's going on? Don't make me the odd guy in the room that doesn't know what's going on. So,
Right. Now, you got a song for us,
I,
man?
it's touchy subject. I'm brave enough to try to come in here. I would say this. It's Protestant more than it's skin color. Catholics tend to be that a little more forgiving thing, and if you break down the statistics right now, I believe that only about 7 to 10% identify as being Catholic. So Protestants, evangelists, it's become something to find a group to marginalize because that's the way you know where you're at, I guess. That's my opinion on the subject as far as what the question is.
Mm-hmm.
I have another interesting aspect to that, and it's a little touchy for me. If I tear up, fuck it, I tear up. I have some very dear friends that come from the country of Jamaica, and I asked a couple of them, they're ladies, and I asked a couple of them in their lifetime, do they ever envision seeing two black men in downtown Kingston, say in a farmer's market, in an open air market, openly kissing or embracing? And every woman I asked said no. So culturally, if you look at that country, there's not a high rate of Catholicism. It's more of an Orthodox Protestant. So again, I don't think it's so much skin color. It's more the religion behind it. And I have some difficulty with that. I find myself in situations where my temper can make people believe I'm homophobic, but you gotta understand, you're indoctrinating kids with one view of it, and then when they get out into the public, it's more of a capitalist approach for everybody to be liberal about it. But we run back to our churches and we're all told another thing. Personally, that's where I stand. I try to stay away from the whole skin color because I think it's more of an indoctrination. I know just as equally many people with white skin that are Protestants that are the same way, homophobic. You wouldn't want to be in the same room with them if you even had a tease of, what's that perfume called? Patchouli. Yeah, you even had a tease of patchouli on, you wouldn't even want to be in a room with them because they're homophobic, they're ugly, so that's where I stand. I'll sit and be
Okay.
quiet. I like to listen.
Okay, no
I can't
Saint.
wear my hat because it's got a symbol on it. Is that bad?
That's fine. No, that's fine. You're good. You're good.
I'm a kick back. Go ahead. Blast away.
Okay, no Saint. I saw you shaking your head no. What rebut do you have?
Well, no, I just was listening. I don't think it's listen, Europe is socialist and Catholic, and they have a whole different take on homosexuality than we do here in the States. So I don't know if it has anything to do with, I mean, I do think there's religious backgrounds in some aspect, but I don't think it's like, well, Catholics don't, or Catholics are, and Protestants are different. I mean, I don't know. But it's kind of funny because there are places like, I think Catholics in general, most people when like in the Catholic cities, it's more relaxed in general because I just don't think Catholics, a lot of Catholics don't follow the religion anyway. It's just like, okay, we're a Catholic city, like New Orleans, very liberal, very homosexually friendly, and it's kind of interesting. But no, I just don't think it has anything to do with capitalism or socialism or but to bring it back, I want to bring it back
more
to
liberal when we're out in the marketplace. We're indoctrinated through our religion and our upbringing. Most people go through confirmation by the time they're 12.
Yeah,
so you're indoctrinated in your religion. You still got 6 more years to live under your parents' household, who probably have the same indoctrination. What I mean by going out into capitalism, I mean that when you go out into the real world, you're no longer in schools, you're no longer in your religious institutions. Now you're out amongst the real world. To suddenly start talking Sodom and Gomorrah in, like, say, say you walk into a Walmart, and you start preaching Sodom and Gomorrah and wiping people off the face of the earth. See, that's where I'm talking. How do you indoctrinate children and tell them, that these are sins and everything? But the true nature is that the political culture that we're in, to allow so many religions to be together, we tend out into the public, we tend to be more liberal. But again, I go back to the one point I make. Jamaica does not have a lot of high Catholicism there. It is a lot Protestant. And again, I have asked people that still live there to come here and visit. In your lifetime, do you ever envision seeing two men embrace downtown Kingston open air farmers market atmosphere?
Well,
and every one of them has said it would not happen in their lifetime.
Wait 1 second. Here's the problem with that.
Go ahead.
Here's the problem with that. You are not taking into account the history of slavery in Jamaica. There were buck breaking farms. in Jamaica. So there's a history with a trauma of homosexuality in Jamaica. So
Right.
a lot of that homophobia comes from that trauma, and that's not
Right.
spoken about. But anyway, go ahead and continue.
Well, that's spoken about a lot here as well with the black men here.
I want to say
I'd
this.
try to say it's not
I
black, it's
absolutely,
Protestant Catholic.
I
I
don't.
That's
absolutely,
all I'm trying to say.
I don't, wait a minute, because there's some points that are being left on the table that I want to address. Lily, first of all, going way back to something that you said with things that you heard as a child in your home, because this has layers to it and this has to be addressed. I say a lot here. Children are born, they're blank slates, perfect brain, and then adults happen to them. So I did want to make a note of that you were just a young child, innocent, bright-eyed, you felt what you felt, and then adults happened to you. I just want to make a note of that because we as adults do that a lot to children. When children are in the room, if we don't like something or we feel a way about something, we do this a lot. We do it with our friends and our family. And I always say, you never know what your child has gone through or is feeling, and you're shooting off at the mouth about something that they're either involved in or suffered from, and then they become enclosed and afraid to speak on it because your big ass at your big age is talking all that shit about that situation. So be mindful of what you say about children. Another thing I wanted to address, Haran, you were talking about Black people are very conservative. I'm just curious as to how Black people got conservative, and was that a generational thing? Because when we look at, say, a certain demographic of Black people online on social media, they're far. I mean, these girls are doing porn. They're talking about sexual organs. They're very, very open. So are you talking about a very religious? Like, how did Black people get conservative?
Well, a lot of Black people's conservatism, and I'm speaking to people from my generation before that, a lot of it comes from their ideas about just white people in general. Like, we'll just take sex, and overall, most Black people, and if Ish was up here, most Black people believe that homosexuality started as a European concept. That it was no trace of that was in Africa. You know what I mean? The black man brought homosexuality over to Africa. And that is like mathematically impossible. But the idea is that anything that deviates out of just how we say, I guess, regular sex, it is a European concept. Whether it be BDSM, whether it be homosexuality, whether it be trying certain things in a bedroom, all of that is quote unquote that white shit. So a lot of times, Blacks, they have a very conservative ideas about when it comes to sex. And the first thing they always tell you is when it comes to, homosexuality. Well, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, and all this other wild shit. So that is essentially of what I'm saying.
And I feel like the ones that you're talking about, Jen, are the ones that are rebelling against all of that before our generation. That's what I'm seeing happening. Because Black people are very conservative because of religion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that's my guess. No, Saint, you were going to say something.
No, I was going to bring, well, first of all, Haran bringing that up about, it's kind of interesting that in Far East Asia, until Europeans got over there, homosexuality wasn't a big deal until we brought religion over there. It was just,
in indigenous culture, it wasn't a big deal.
So, I mean, I think religion definitely has a lot to play in it. But
then are we saying that Black men are more religious than other races and ethnicities if religion has a lot to play in it?
No, I just think that the foundation of it probably has to do with religion. I don't think that now it's just a cultural thing. I definitely, listen, as much as I heard what you said earlier, you grew up in the Bronx around Black and Latino people. I went to school, it was 50-50. Black, white, and some Latinos were in there. And definitely, there's no doubt in my mind that it was way more homophobic in the Black community than it is in the white community.
I just want to put something out here real quick.
Wow.
I don't want to beat up on Black men, tonight when it comes to the case, because a couple of weeks ago, when Black women and trans women were having their argument and gay men were having their argument, Black women sounded real homophobic. They was calling the trans women all kinds of sirs and Timothys and misters. and calling on, gay men all kinds of fags and so on and so forth. However, they always have sat there and said that we were the homophobic ones in the community. When the moment they didn't get what they wanted, the moment they felt threatened, they just immediately made sure that the other, that the people that they claim that they accept knew their place.
All right, but I gotta jump in. I'm sorry. I gotta jump in. Okay, listen. With that said, we can't deny that Black women have been the greatest allies, okay, to the LGBTQ.
No one's saying that.
Okay, it wasn't Black men. It wasn't Black men. It's Black women that embraced. I'm just saying, it was Black women that embraced. They embrace the LGBTQ more than Black men do, hands down. Also, that whole argument was so convoluted and so vitriolic. Okay, let's be clear. There's a whole demographic of me and Lili's. Okay. And then there's a whole other demographic where they went at each other, okay, like cats and dogs, where the trans women were being very vitriolic and derogatory towards cis Black women, okay, and regular Black women, because I know some Black women don't like the word cis, but it got real ugly back and on both sides. They were using sir, ma'am, him, her to each other. They were telling Just Hilarious, who's a biological woman, they were telling her, well, you look like a man. So it got ugly. It got ugly, but like you want to, I understand that you want to say that about Black men, and you have every right, and it is correct, but also Black women have been great allies to the LGBTQ. What's up, Fighter Complex?
What's good? What's good?
What's good? What's good?
What up?
Oh my Megatron, that's a very divisive comment.
Now, why did you have to say that, bro?
Yeah, that's very divisive. And that's that type of shit. That's the type of shit that gets that causes those type of those heated arguments that we saw last week. That type of shit, right?
That was highly unnecessary.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe my Vegatron is a troll, so I'm not insulted by this at all.
I'm not insulted, but I want to make an example out of that, because that's something that is done by Black men to Black women, biological women, before the trans thing even bubbled up. Now the trans women are here, and they're like, oh, we get to pit them against each other too. No, we're not doing that shit.
But they do that with the preferences, right? The Latinas and the Asians, they do that too. They men are really, Black men I've seen in these spaces are really good at pitting women against Black women, period. But I'm like, and here's the thing. I mean, funny or not funny or whatever, I don't give a fuck. He trolls in the chat.
I love you on my Megatron, but I still let you have it.
He's a gentle Lily takes your man. First of all, can't nobody take my man. If it's mine, can't nobody take it. Second, Lily is a very feminine woman. Therefore, if that were to happen, it's not like, oh my God, you know what I mean? I dated a guy who, right? I dated a guy, and I found, one time gay porn in his shit, to men on man. Okay, not trans woman and men on men. And it just goes back to what Lily said. People are sexual. People are sexual. So it doesn't, let's say I was in a relationship. Let's say I was in a full-blown relationship, and me and my man break up, or he cheats on me with another man. Just another straight man, a straight man, no trans, nothing. Or he cheats with a trans woman. That's no reflection on me.
Never.
That has absolutely nothing to do with me, and everything to do with what he wanted to do. So I'm not. Yeah. What did you say, Fighter Complex?
No, you almost make it seem like if it's trans, it's less because it's kind of a woman, but no, it's bad either way. It's equivalent because it's a man, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any. The blow isn't lesser because at least this man was trying to be a woman. He fucked up. Like either way, it's still equivalent.
Well, Fighter Complex, I hate to inform you of this, but gay men are not attracted to trans women.
Gay men are not sorry, say it again.
Gay men are not attracted to
Like,
trans women. Gay men are attracted to gay men. They are attracted to men who are presented as men. Men
Yeah,
who
that's
are
true.
heterosexual or bisexual are attracted to women, whether they're trans. Some of them don't. I mean, most of them prefer to be with
I,
biological women,
I,
but some of them would be with either.
I disagree. I
Well, you
highly
don't have to agree. I'm just sharing with you the like
I,
that's just a
Told
fact.
me she
I
had breast
mean,
cancer.
and like I disagree with that. I disagree with that. You know,
Okay.
yeah, I agree
go
with
right
that.
on ahead. But I mean, maybe you've been trans. Maybe you know more than I do.
No,
But I'm
no,
just
no,
saying
no, no.
that's
Okay,
just what it is.
no, that doesn't make sense. Because if you like a trans, you're gay.
Okay, but what, can I
So
step in
And
for a
I
minute?
I
All right,
understand
so
what he's.
hold
I
up.
understand. I understand what he's
Go ahead.
saying. I understand what he's saying. I think what Fighter is saying is that I'm talking about trans women that what's the word is it passing, Lily? What's the
yeah,
lingo? What's
passable. Yeah,
okay?
passable.
I'm talking about trans women who are passable, you know what I mean, as women. I'm not I think you're talking about a trans woman that looks like a man and the guy knows that it was biologically a man. I think that's what you're talking about. So if he goes with her, then that means that he's
Oh,
gay because he's trying to go with a man.
you can't. How can you do that though? Like,
I mean, but see, this is
Wait a
the
minute.
thing.
Let
You're
me ask a
coming in.
question. Let me
Hold on,
just ask a
hold on.
question.
But
Let Lily address it because then everybody's
yeah,
gonna be talking
because
and then you could
this
say something to her.
this is the thing. You're coming into something that is new to you and old to me, right? So when you're coming into a conversation that is new to you and old to other people, it that's where you'll get the most information from because right now you're going off of information that you've been told your whole life by other people who don't even live that life, right? Or if they live that life, they're trying to conceal that life, right? So they're going to tell you shit that is based upon what we're talking about right now, especially in the black community. I mean, like I said, this is what I hear my whole life, and this is what I hear from people who are trying to fuck me. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's never a gay man. It's never a man who's attracted to men. Never, ever. Right? So the thing is, and I'm not saying that all heterosexual men are attracted to trans and biological women. But what I am saying that the men who are attracted to trans women are attracted to women, not men. Period.
So Fighter, it's the same thing George Cook said. George said, I think I would take Lily's word for it because she lives in and around that community, but that wasn't even the one. Is this one? Wait, this one. I'm sorry. Just Me says, at Fighter, gay men are not attracted to women or those who present as women visually. The point is that if you're a gay man, you're not going to want anything that looks
Nothing.
female or presents as female. You're going to want a man.
Yep.
Okay?
I
You're going to want
just
a
want
man.
to
I think
ask a
he's
quick
stuck on the
question.
dick part.
I just want to
That's
ask a quick question.
Fighter look, look at No Saints box. That's his favorite trans woman. that's his
I just,
little trans.
okay, so I see
yeah,
both sides of
wow,
the argument. I see
crazy.
both sides of the argument, but I just want to ask a quick question. So, what is a cis man or whatever, a biological man? What if he's with a trans man? Is he gay? Because a trans man has a vagina.
Okay, all right. Hold on. Let me put it like this, right?
Wait, he's attracted to the trans man, and he's attracted to manlyhood. So
Exactly, because
That's the
men,
point
yeah,
gay
that I'm
men.
what he's
making here. That's the
attracted
point that
to.
I'm making here. Because
And
wait a minute,
it's
wait a
like,
minute,
okay,
wait a
so
minute,
if a
Yeah, something.
wait a minute.
could
Fight the
I be
fight.
doing?
Wait a
Wait a
minute.
minute. What about like a
Wait,
Hugh
wait, wait,
Grant
wait,
incident,
wait.
where maybe I pick up a hooker and we get down the roadways or something. All of a sudden, we get down her drawers and I find out, yoo-hoo, she's got a penis. But I thought she was attractive. See, until I
A
found out she had a
a
penis.
trans accident? Is that a trans accident?
A
Yes.
trans accident.
See, it's like where you
Doing a
try to back
transaction.
out of this. You try to back out of it nicely. You say, "Hey, I'll give you half if you just let me take you back." You get in those situations. But the point is I was attracted to it because it was the presentation of a woman. And so you can't be a gay guy and be attracted to a guy dressing up as a woman. It defeats the purpose of being a gay guy.
That's the
Period.
point. That's the point that I'm trying to make because it sounds like complex is basically saying, well, this is still, you know what I'm saying, a man, even though the person is being presented as a woman. So I'm saying, like, okay, well, what if it's presenting as a man and the person size a vagina, and a man is having sex with her?
But
Is he considered gay because she still has a
But
vagina?
yes,
That's what I'm
because it's the phobia
yes,
in the
That's what I'm
genitalia.
asking.
See, that's what
Yes.
you're getting to is sexuality or homosexuality, that is it actually a phobia of the genitalia?
Complex to
Okay,
ponder that. I'm asking complex to ponder that.
Okay, hold on. Let me show you this. Let me turn this off. This is a trans man. Okay, this is a trans
yeah,
man.
but
This person was born as a woman
deep.
and lives as a man. Okay,
That's so deep.
now, so listen. If only person who will want to fuck him besides a woman is a gay man, a straight that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's
That's only people will be attracted to him.
all right. Now let me set an example, right? I have a friend of mine that she's in battle rap, right? She's a female in battle rap. She's gay, right? QB Black Diamond. Her name is QB Black Diamond, and she's still like a little woman. She got curves, and you could tell that she's the type of girl that if she just wore a dress or in heels, like she's a baddie. And no matter what, yeah, you can act butch and she want to rap and she want to wear fitteds backwards and all that, but there's still a woman with a nice body. And one time jokingly, I said, "Oh, yo, QB, you wearing them jeans, but you got a fat ass." And she got offended by that. But like, girl, you still a woman, and I know you trying to act butch and all that, but you're still attractive. And
But you're talking about a gay woman, not a trans man. That's two different things, completely different.
yeah,
Completely
okay.
different.
But yeah, that's like I don't even see trans men like that. I
You
don't even.
do, but you don't know you do. That's the point. You do all day, but you don't know you do. That's the point I'm making.
That's,
But see, the thing is, you're
that's
going
crazy.
off of what you've been taught, right? And so today, in this moment, you're being introduced to new information, and that shit's difficult, right? So I get it. I totally understand it because, like I said in the beginning, I was brought up with the same information, and I am that person. So imagine how confusing that is because everything is happening one way, but I'm being taught something else. So I'm like, this shit is weird. I'm being taught this, but the reality is this, right? So that shit is confusing. It's confusing.
But also in the defense of the younger generation, in the defense, we can't pretend that the LGBTQ, it's strict LGBTQ. People are sexual. There are people that go with trans women, trans men, it's all over the place. So in order to, we can't even try to teach him or school him. We can only teach him and school him on our experiences, but he'll go out and see it. Wait, I thought Lily and Jen said that only gay men go with, and then he sees them with a trans woman, a trans man, a gay woman, this one, and this one's fucking a goat. This one, the human beings are all over the place right now. So there really are no rigid rules to sexuality.
No, but I have a question for him because listen, some of us have been on the earth a little longer, and there is
54 years on Monday.
There is something to be said about experience and then speaking truth to yourself, right? So I showed you that picture of Eden the doll.
Yeah.
And I've seen other attractive, and believe it or not, there are people who have slept with transgender women.
I think I did.
Over in the cat house that had no idea and still have no idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my question to him is this: you saw the picture of Eden the doll, and then you can get a picture of, say, like Roseanne Barr. Now, which one are you more attracted? Which one are you more attracted to? Is my question. And it doesn't make you gay if you say that Eden the doll is more attractive than Roseanne Barr, because Eden the doll presents as a very attractive woman, not a man or not a former man.
Shit, I've been friends with trans women for a couple of years and didn't know they were trans.
What was your question? Don't say it. What was your question?
So basically, I think when you're young like he is, you have trouble saying that you're seeing something because you know that it was formerly a man. In other words, you look at a pretty trans woman and you're like, I'm not attracted to that because it makes you feel like you may be gay. But I'm saying no. This Eden the doll presents as a woman. She's much more attractive than a lot of women that you see every day walking down the street. It is, you know, the attractiveness doesn't, it's not like your brain's not working on what this person was born as. It's working as what you're seeing right in front of you. And attractiveness, there are plenty of attractive trans women at this point. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but here's the thing too. We can't I don't know if age is a factor in that, because there are men who are 40 and 50 and feel like the way Complex does. There are men that are 40, there are men that are 40 and 50 that feel like that. Caligula, I dropped you because you rolling up on my panel. I don't like people rolling up on my fucking panel. Okay, do that shit behind the scenes. I'll bring you back up when you're done.
Well, what I'm saying is that to me is more of a sign of maturity. If you're lying to yourself and saying that what you're seeing is not an attractive, doesn't present as an attractive female.
There's a difference, Saint. There's a difference knowing if someone is attractive or you being attracted to them. There's a difference, because I believe I'm attractive and my big brother look just like me, so he got to be attractive too, right? Or I look just like him. So I know, and you know the difference between a guy who's like or oh shit, yo, he won the genetic lottery, right? And there's nothing gay about that, right? Because we have odds, we know. But now you being personally attracted to that, now that's different. That's a whole different thing. Now you want to indulge with that person, and I think, okay, can you be being boozled online? Yeah, you know, you got the lighting and the filters and all that, but in real life, in person,
you won't know, baby. This is 2023. Trust me. I don't even know. Trust me. I don't even know.
I will say
the doctors don't even know. Like, that's how good it is. So hold on. Let me share this with you. It's so good now the gynecologists don't even know.
That's right.
That's how fucking good it is now. Trust me on this. You won't know. You can fuck her and you won't know.
Okay, but this is where we're talking about though. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about presentation versus fact, right? No, Saint, you like that girl, that trans woman. I think she was okay. You know she was biologically born a man. Yeah. Your attraction doesn't change. Like, you would smash, right? You would hit.
Yeah.
You would smash, right? Yeah. Okay. So that's different than what Complex is saying. He can say, oh shit, if that girl walks by, he'd probably look like, oh, she a baddie. As soon as he finds out that she was biologically a man, it's like, oh, fuck out of here. That happens whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or 70, according to your beliefs, your feelings, or whatever. I've seen attractive trans men, not the one that Lily posted.
Me too.
I've seen that guy before. But I've seen attractive trans men. Yeah. Sade, the singer, if you guys didn't know, Sade, the singer, has a trans son. I mean, her child was born a girl. She trans into a man. He's fine as fuck.
I thought you was about to say something about Sade.
No. Her kid. No. Her kid is a trans man. Sade's kid is a trans man. He's fine as fuck. If he just walks in a room, you're like, oh my God, he looks cute. But when you find out he's a woman, I get turned off because I don't want to be with a biological woman. I want to be with a biological man. Am I immature? No, Saint. Because as soon as I find out,
are you gay though? Are you gay if you did? Does that make you gay?
Exactly. That's the point.
Does it make me gay? No. Yes, there's tendencies there. How could there not be when I know I'm sleeping with a biological woman? Obviously, I don't care that that's a woman. So obviously,
when you're gay, you're attracted to other people of the same sex.
No. Because if he took his pants down and I saw a pussy and I wasn't gay, right, I wouldn't move forward. What are you talking about?
Well, that's different. This Eden the doll doesn't have a dick.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that I don't want to. I'm just saying that I don't want tonight to be one thing, right? Just because you would sleep with a trans woman doesn't mean if somebody else wouldn't. It doesn't mean if somebody else wouldn't as soon as they find out something is wrong with them. I don't like that narrative on either side.
Right.
Absolutely. I don't like it on either side.
And that's why I wanted to be really, really clear that, like you said, Jen, because we are in 2023, shit's all over the place. But I'm just speaking from my experience up until this recent, typically, let me just say this, typically the men who are attracted to trans women, right? Trans women who are beautiful, they present as women and things like that. Um, they wouldn't touch a gay man. Wouldn't touch a gay man, right? Because they really still want a woman. Um, and then but then you got the ones um who when they find out, like you said, they'll be like, no, because I'm that girl. Like I've seen trans men that were really attractive, but I was like, nope, I want some dick, that's all, no big deal. um so that comes down to preference, and it doesn't mean anything else. It's just preference at the end of the day. It's just like it's the same as seeing a female, and you got one with a big booty and one with a small booty. I want the one with the big booty, or I want the one with the small booty. It's just that simple. It's just that preference type of situation.
I
Yeah,
just want to
I just
also
want it on both sides, because no saying, let's say you would go forward and smash that trans woman. Someone could easily say, well, you're gay because that's really a man. So there's something about you is gay. You just haven't tapped into it.
Yeah, and
It's the same thing, vice versa.
They could do it. That doesn't affect me one way or the
Right.
other.
Yeah, I just don't
want
want
They
that.
can say whatever they want to say. Their
wanna-
opinion doesn't matter to me.
I just want to put a few things out there. Just want to make known, from my perspective, fighter. I completely understand what your stance is, and I'm not against it. You should be allowed to see things in the manner in which you should be allowed to see them. That is your business, and you should be. you should not think to otherwise. Now, I was watching this whole exchange, for a minute. And I was watching the chat, and Saint up here threw up. I tried being gay once, and I quit when it was my turn.
Me too. No, listen, I swear, me too.
That's a
No,
bit.
I swear, me too. I swear, me too. I swear, me too.
Technically, me too, because I tried to do the woman thing, and I was like, oh fuck no, hell no, I don't know how y'all be eating shit and putting that shit in. Fuck that shit.
I said the same thing. I was
But
like, oh no.
But listen. The same way. Look, the same way. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. The same way that a motherfucker can sit here and say that, oh well, if you date a trans woman, you have gay tendencies. If you let a woman play in your ass, it's kind of out there. Now you see. Here's the thing. I'm gonna get back to that in a second. The same way the fighter sees the situation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the same way the fighter sees the situation. I see the situation in the manner it is. If you allow a woman to put a fucking finger in your ass, you got gay tendencies.
Yeah, that's crazy, yo. That's OD, man.
If you allow women to
let's go to
that, because I'm ready to go there. I'm ready to go there.
Okay, look. The question: does butt play really make you gay? Let's go there, because I've cracked the acid too. We're gonna go there.
I would love 1 second, Mr. Lewis Gossett Jr.
I love this.
Don't. Let's stay here and with the super chats. Let's stay here with the super chats. I'm not. If the person didn't super chat, it doesn't matter.
He's super chatted. He's super chatted.
Did he?
Yeah.
No, the guy Haran's talking about didn't.
Jr.
Oh, Lewis.
Thank you for
I thought he said Lewis.
Thank you for the super chat, Louis Kanye. Shit. Back in the day, men used to lay with men as a form of birth control because children were a burden. They played with men to release. They played with men to release their tension.
Okay, so I gotta add to that one. It's not back in the hold on. It's not back in the day. It's happening right now. And let me tell you. And let me share with you this. And like I said, I live in a very, very Muslim neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. And the Muslim, like the real Muslim community, like over Iraq and Afghanistan. My brother was the first one to tell me this when he was in the military. He was like, whoa. He was like, homosexuality is an open secret here. He was like, the men, he said, basically, this is what he said he learned. The biggest lesson he learned being in Iraq, Afghanistan, all those things. He said that women were for procreation and men were for pleasure. Living in this neighborhood, and he explained how it looked, the nuances of it. And I moved here and I was like, oh my God, it's exactly what he said. And then his wife, she's a military brat or whatever, and she said the same thing. So, and the Middle East Muslim communities, that's how they get down.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Middle Eastern. Middle Eastern, you mean Muslim or just Middle Eastern?
Yes, Middle
Muslim.
Eastern Muslim. Yeah, Muslim. Yes, for sure. Yes. And I
Yo,
live in a heavy Muslim area, and let me tell you, the stuff that go down around here, baby, like it'll make your head spin with these Muslims. So,
Because you know, Muslims think that homosexuality means death.
yeah, that's the thing. This is the thing why I say with what people teach one thing, but reality is a whole nother thing, right?
But that's
And so,
America. See, you're talking about when we walk out into society, American society is more liberal than what American homes are. And I learned this through the Board of Elections when I worked with them. I live in an area with almost 70% Trump supporters, but it's pretty liberal because, I mean, the breakdown of racial, disparity, however you want to call it, is pretty fair. But going back to one other thing I just wanted to say. I made a joke, and I really did think that I may have had sex with a transsexual woman. I don't even know. She said she had cancer, and so she had these scars, and that was why she had. But then I started figuring it out. But I was attracted to her. If I would have ever saw a penis, I think I would have did the Hugh Grant thing and said, "Oh my God, I got to get out of the situation really quick." I'm attracted to beauty outside. I mean, if somebody dressed up like a woman, I kind of go with like the feminine. If it was a guy that was a little feminine, he's trying to throw me off. But once we get to where it's time to do the presentation, it's supposed to be a sexual encounter, and so in my preferences, the sexual encounter can't happen if we both have positive plugs or whatever you want to call it. So that's just the way I am. I don't say that it's against anybody else, but what I'm trying to get at the point is that like somebody like Lily, who said was born a man, I could easily pick her up in a bar and take her back to wherever I wanted to take her. That wouldn't be a problem.
No, you can't. No, you
Well,
can't.
it would give beauty. I mean, it would. I could easily try to hit on you, is what I'm saying. I consider myself a heterosexual man. I got a few questionable losses, but I'm for the most part heterosexual. But I mean, what I'm saying is, you're attractive enough that if I, put it on, I would try to probably hit on you. But again, if we get back and it's time to do the rest of it, if the parts don't plug in the right places, that's not me. Going to the finger in the asshole thing, see, is it because you're just bored? Because couples get really bored. I mean, I think I don't want to talk about my ex, but you get really bored and you do things that sometimes you're sitting around your apartment, you say, hey, you want to get naked and do something like that, and you do it. Are you doing the anal penetration with the finger because it's just crazy and that's it, or are you doing it because he really likes anal penetration? See,
okay, so let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Let's
right
talk about
there.
that because that is the main question on the thumbnail. Thank you, YouTube Press, for the super chat. YouTube Press says no Saint's thong is alright, nothing on mine though. Okay,
All right. Nice.
till we see it, I guess we won't know.
Nothing on mine either.
Right.
I just want to mention one thing. Like, and this is nothing against you, No Saint. The fact that No Saint was easily, able to pull up his trans crush, pull up real quick, but that's another story,
I posted. I did. I think I sat in finals with my trans. You guys know that.
But, you pulled up. You know what I mean? Everyone saw it. You know what I mean? Saw the photo, whatever. You were very deep in your ideas and so on, whatever. And nobody really questioned you because you're a white man. Now, if you were a black man and you did that, this whole fucking chat would have been on fire, and that is the reason why.
Exactly.
Yeah, but well, let me throw some fucking fuel on the fire. Is it because we expect white people to be sexually deviant? Because when I think of bestiality, when I think of necrophilia, when I think of white people. So is it because culturally, as people of color, let's throw some fuel on the fire, we automatically associate sexual deviance with the Caucasian? Anybody want to answer that?
Well, like I said before, prior, I mean, I was basically explaining that the concept of homosexuality many Black people, particularly, you know, I mean, those in the NOI, I remember a number of them told me that Europeans brought homosexuality to Africa.
I know, I heard that.
Yeah,
You know, so yes.
But isn't there a tinge of freakiness in No Saint's crush? Because he's well aware that's biologically a man, and still, with all we can say, we're just attracted to beauty, right?
Man, no
But
thing walking
Planet
around in the
Earth,
house with a song. Okay,
I know, but
like,
I'm saying
I want you to get
Planet
naked
Earth.
with them, and then I'll believe you.
Okay, so Planet Earth has no lack of beautiful men and beautiful women. They are everywhere. So the fact that No Saint saw this beautiful woman, but knows it's biologically a man and didn't say, nah, skip that. There's a billion other women that I can like who are biologically women. There's a little freaking No Saint that No Saint ain't talking about.
Well, I'll address this. When I first was aware and was watching, it wasn't like automatically. It had something to do with the way that she presented as a personality too. So it was a combo. It was like, it wasn't just like, oh, she's hot, let me just go sleep with this trans woman. It was like,
An energy.
man, she's got a cool personality, you know, I kind of like her, you know what I mean? So it was more than, it's not like I just see some trans and that's what I'm going to, oh, I'm going to go with that. But I mean, you asked me a question. Listen, I've seen her in a model on the street, and guys were picking about 50-50 her, and they didn't know that she was. They didn't know she was a trans.
Because they didn't know.
But I'm saying,
But I'll take this to another place. I would say, from my experience, 9 out of 10 don't care. From my experience, 9 out of 10 don't care. They don't care.
And let me tell you something about that. And that's the other thing. Like this whole, there's a lot of stereotypes. And listen, white people can take the loss on the bestiality and the freakiness, but that's just because in the Black community, a lot of things are hidden, because you can look around the world and see all that same stuff going on in those other communities as well.
So you're saying that white men are more open to sharing their deviance? Is that what it is?
I think maybe it's through video porn at the time. I don't know.
There you go. It's the media. White media has more control to broadcast the white deviance, and they say, well, you know, what's the sense of broadcasting anything like that? Because number one, if it's white media, how does it infiltrate Black communities to find out these statistics? I would say you're right about the deviance. It does tend to happen more with European descent. But why and where that comes from, I think is difficult to understand, because we're a melting pot and you have to go back to all the.
All right. Well, what I was saying was that there was a time where you didn't have a lot of Black porn out there anyway, not like you did with white porn, still kind of that way. There's, you know, and so you tend to see it more in that. I don't think anybody went door to door saying, are you fucking a sheep? You know?
I mean, like Ed Gein.
Wait a minute.
Somebody like Ed Gein.
But I want to say this. Okay, I want to say this. Let's not pretend that culture plays a part. Let's not pretend that culture does not play a part. Okay, Caucasian culture is different from the Caribbean and Black Americans and what have you. Let's not pretend. It's 2023. There are plenty of porn stars of all ethnicities and cultures and all of that. However, if you want the nastiest, freakiest, if you want snuff porn, if you want necrophilia porn, if you want bestiality porn, white people are volunteering to do that. Now, Black people, Latin people, Asian people, yes, we're all in the porn business. We're all in the porn business. But if you want the craziest shit, it's always white faces. When you see people shitting on each other and eating the shit like that, yes, I've seen
I'd suggest you go and watch some Brazilian porn.
Really?
Watch some Brazilian porn.
They eat the poo?
Is that all you got? Brazilian and white people then?
And how about go to Tijuana and see what they do down there?
Okay, so I'll say this. I'm gonna keep my stance on that, because I've seen white people do some wild shit that I've never seen anybody else do that I didn't even think existed.
Brazilian has a thriving porn industry, and there's some freaky stuff going on down there.
Right.
What is that? Thank you for the super chat. This might be risky. Tonight is spicy, yo. Tonight is spicy. People getting offended. I see faces twisting up. Okay, this might be risky. Says no saint is gay a little bit. That's all. The FBI reports show white people commit the most sexual crimes. The stereotype has merit. And that's all I'm talking about. That is all I'm talking about. That culturally, we just do different things culturally, period. That's why the joke is that's white people shit. Because culturally,
again, I want to this comment.
Mhm.
If he's talking as a whole, I would agree. If he's talking statistic, like per capita, we can have that conversation. You can twist that stat any way you want, because we all know that there's more white people on welfare than black people. However, statistically, or per capita, it's not the fact. It's not you can twist that a different way if you go per capita. So but what I'm saying is the population is bigger. There's more white people in the country still at this point than any other ethnic.
So you're saying that that's why.
And,
so you're saying that
I don't know.
that's
I'd
why
have
the
to look.
report is.
Well, I'm gonna tell you another thing. I'm gonna tell you another
thing.
You
can throw that up there, but I don't know if that's per capita or if that's as a if it is per capita, then okay, I'll say okay, you're right, but we'll have to see that.
I'm gonna say this though.
I mean, the Catholic Church alone,
right?
But I mean, and they're white.
But what I will also say is sometimes when a culture is really oppressed behind closed doors, they real freaky, right? Going back to these people I live around, right? Now, they corrected me in the chat, so I'm not sure if it's Arabian or Muslim. All right, but I do know a lot of them are from Afghanistan. But I do know they're from a lot of them are from Afghanistan and Iraq and places like that in the Middle East. I went to get my new phone, right? And I asked them to switch over my pictures and stuff from my old to my new phone. And then so she grabbed my phone and she was like, sure. And she was doing it. And then the guy that was the young man that was sitting next to her, he was kind of standing next to her, not, doing his own thing with something else, right? And then she grabs my phone and she was like, oh, before I start, is there anything that you don't want me to see? I was like, child, you done seen some, body parts before. You be all right. And so she was like, okay, cool. And then I said, I can only imagine what you see, the stuff that you see. And then I was like, and they both literally simultaneously looked up and they said, no, you can't. And I was like, oh. And then they said, in this neighborhood with these people, you can't imagine. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And they told me a few little things. I didn't want to hear no more. That's why I said they do shit that you can't even imagine, that like it'll make your head spin. So I don't know if that comes from them being so oppressed that, because even with Dubai, we hear the stories about Dubai, what the girls have to go over there and do for those men, right? And that's also a Muslim country. So I don't know if that's something too. There's something also to look at.
I mean,
as well.
it's also there's a class element to it, because I see people of color specifically getting most deviant, like the way white people are, when they have a lot of money.
Right.
When they are wealthy, they start going, the drugs get better, the sex gets crazier. You know what I mean? When you're in a certain tax bracket, white people in general, they have just this privilege and this air about them. And it's like, we run shit. We are white. We're superior, whatever. So they have this air about them, right? When they feel like they can do whatever without repercussions. So I would say that they are at the top. You know what I mean? When it comes to sexual crimes or whatever, the FBI says they're just up there because there's a class thing to it as well. There's a privilege thing to it as well. And if you notice, when we look at the Diddies and we hear about those parties at the Diddy mansions, and it's like, these motherfuckers are wealthy. And the wealthier you are, the more convenient it is to get women to do all kinds of shit to you. And then you get bored of women because you just ran through 500 beautiful women. Now it's like, oh, I want to know what a penis feels like. Or I want to know what this type of cocaine feels like. Oh, I want to know what that drink does. And that's another factor. Money is another factor. Them guys in Dubai got money that will never run out. So it's like, okay, I've had beautiful women. Can I get one to pinch my nutsack? Can I get one to shit in my mouth? They do get bored. They do. Right. They like, what else is left?
That's a very real thing. And when having this conversation, because like it was something we kind of touched on this earlier, that we all come from different walks of life, right? So that's going to make, like, we all are literally walking around with our own set of goggles on, right? Our own set of VR goggles are literally. So we see all of us, all six of us see this world completely different. And from as early on as I can remember till now, today, I've seen a lot. I've seen people present one way and say one thing and do another in this area so much that it's like I now that's why I came up with the whole thing. Listen, humans are sexual, child. It's just that damn simple. Because I didn't seen so much, I didn't heard so much that I realized that a lot of people feel like they got to put up a facade in public, so they will literally like we have a saying with trans girls have a saying because it's a real thing, and we be like, oh, he look like he'll fuck you and kill you because that's a real thing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's, my best friend died like that. So there's guys like that. So it's like humans are sexual. That's the best way I can put it, right? That's the best way I can put it. We all fall on the spectrum somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're absolutely right, Lee. There's some people that, I mean, lie because, I mean, people are in full blown marriages because of
Right.
society and tradition.
Right.
People right now have jobs because of society and tradition. People right now have not let go of certain family members because of certain societal traditions and things like that. So humans lie. Humans
Mm-hmm.
are bogus. They lie. However, they're still humans that it's like their word is their bond. I'm going to go to
That
the
too.
grave. I'm going to go to the grave with saying, I don't like X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? I don't
Mm-hmm.
like that. You know, I know people like that too. I know people on both sides. So since this guy is hella bent on baiting Haran, let's all jump on his hook.
Oh,
Let's give him some
this
attention.
yes.
Let's all jump on the hook.
Listen,
Wait, let me
Okay,
read this.
babe.
Wait. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. Lewis Gossett Jr. He says, Haran, you're a beta who only agrees with Jen. Let's all give him this attention because he did pay it
Okay.
$2. We could give him $2 worth of attention.
Yeah. Hey, Lewis.
I
I
just
hope
want to
you
say
feel
one
better.
thing. Say one
Okay, we're all
thing.
here.
I just want to say one thing. Y'all niggas really be on my dick harder than my goddamn underwear. Like, what is the problem, man?
Oh,
Like, all you niggas just stay on my dick, man. Like, seriously.
that was crazy.
It's some borderline homo shit,
Pause.
which is ironic.
Pause.
Which is ironic about today's fucking, you know what I mean? Shit, like, none of you come up here to debate me. You just stay on my knob from the fucking sidelines, and you just want my attention. That's girl shit, man. You know how
Weird.
chicks on the sideline says that? Oh, he looking this
So
way.
before, okay,
Like, yo,
so thank you for the super chat.
yes.
So
Thank you for the
so let's get into Lily because I like that subject. It reminds me of something. I'm sure you guys know who Kendra G is. The other day, she had a woman on there who was a lesbian, but didn't want to be categorized as a lesbian. Her right, whatever. She's pussy. They eat her pussy. She's a lesbian just as a label, right? But she didn't want to be categorized as a lesbian. She was saying, well, I'm just a sexual person. I'm attracted with women, blah, blah. So Kendra and her, what's up, Sherelle, mama? So Kendra and her got into a little verbal altercation because, she was like, she was saying that she dated the woman who called in was saying that she was with a man for some odd years and now she gave up on men, so now she's with women. So Kendra was trying to understand what she was saying. She was like, well, she was telling Kendra, well, how do you know that you're not attracted to women? You've never been on a date with me. And she was insisting. So Kendra got upset naturally, right? Because now someone is telling you what you are, right?
Right.
So let's explore that a little bit. When someone says a thing and that's happened to me before, and I've seen it happen to my friends before, where it's like a gay woman will be like, no, but how do you know until you've been with me? Now, if I was to say, well, how do you know you're not fucking straight? Maybe you didn't get a dick big enough in your ass, right? Then I'd be wrong. Right? Then I'd be homophobic or whatever. So it's like we have to take care to just respect what people are saying on the surface. Like we know people lie. We know people lie on the surface to make it look good, like people are watching. Let me say this. But until we have proof, we got to just let people be who they are. And I didn't like that interaction on that Kendra thing. So I left my little comment. But I'm like, see, now if someone said that you weren't really gay, you just haven't had a big enough dick, then you would get offended.
Right. And I couldn't agree more. I despise that type of behavior. I would say, like, for me, it's like this, right? I am the obvious one in this joint, right? Like I'm the obvious one here, right? So I feel like it's your responsibility to let me know that you're attracted. Because yes, I am only attracted to masculinity. That's all I like. I love dick and that's it, right? But and yes, I know niggas lie. I know lots of niggas lie, but I don't know which ones do. Right. So that's their responsibility to let me know that they're attracted. I don't approach them because I don't even want to make that mistake because I don't want to be, because I feel like I've seen that too. And it bothers me because it gives people a bad name. It's just disrespectful. It's just a disrespectful
Right.
individual. That's how I view that as a disrespectful individual. But then you'll have a lot more people who would will view that as those people
Mm-hmm.
are disrespectful,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's why it bothers me.
And let's be clear, it's just I mean, it's just as disrespectful as a guy insisting to date you and you're not attracted to him.
Right.
Because I've also gone through that as well. Right. I've also gone through that as well. So it's a double-edged sword. So let's get into I can't hear you, Haran. I can't hear you. I had
Did
to
we
mute No Saint
discuss?
because he had crazy. You got a lot of noise back there, No Saint. So mute your own mic and then just unmute it when you're ready to talk because it sounds
So
like a machine or something.
quick thing, Jay. Did we discuss the
Hold on, No Saint. No Saint, mute your mic until you're ready to talk. Because yeah, thank you. Woo.
did we talk about the fingers in the butt thing? Like the things that you like
No,
to do?
that's where we're going next. Now let's get to the freaking question.
It's a good
Like you
question. It's a
can will
very
you
good question.
consider
It
the men that you crack their ass, and when the way you make it sound just very like a thief just going into a fucking
a
safe.
thief.
A thief in the night. A
Like
thief in the night,
literally,
unless you did it in
you
morning
don't
time.
make it sound erotic. You don't make it sound soothing. You know, I'm cracking niggas' asses.
You
Like,
know
yo,
what? I'll be completely honest. I'll be completely honest. It wasn't erotic or soothing. It really was. It's a power play.
Right.
And we
okay,
discussed this, but we'll discuss it for people who haven't heard the story. The question tonight again is: does butt play really make you gay, fellas? This is how I see it. You may disagree, and you guys can respond after this. I just think that human beings, we have a lot of erogenous zones. They're everywhere. They're literally everywhere. Some people get turned on if you lick under their arm. This section right here is crazy if a guy touches it the right way. You got the small of your back, your neck, your ears, your lips, your chin. There's so many erogenous zones, especially our orifices, like our vagina holes, our booty holes, our mouths, right? People get turned on, like your spit feels like cum if you enjoy giving head, right? There's a lot of different things. Therefore, just because if you're a man and you like being touched at certain places does not make you automatically homosexual. That's all I'm gonna say. It doesn't automatically make you homosexual. Now, there are some guys that are undercover and they're with a girl because of society and they like getting pegged and all of that because they're down low gay. Yes, they exist. But
They exist.
what also exists are men that are completely heterosexual and just like being touched every fucking where.
And Jen, I
wait,
want to
wait, wait,
add
wait,
to
wait,
that.
wait.
Let me
Okay,
add
go
to that,
add to
please.
that.
Okay, let me just add to what Jen is saying. Jen, I fully agree with that, and I'm going to add to it. Right. So, um, the G spot for a male is in the prostate.
Mhm.
Why would the creator, God, or whatever you believe in, put it there if it wasn't supposed to be used, right? Okay, but this is the thing, right? Um, I I'm a person who I don't
Complex is thinking about it. Complex is thinking about
but no, listen, but I'm not saying that everyone wants to use it,
Dragon
right?
boy.
That's the point
Dragon.
I make. Hold on, everyone is not supposed to, doesn't want to use it, but I'm just saying it's there to be used, right? Now, um, I am strictly dickly. I don't want nothing to do with nobody's butt or anything like that, right? But you do, Jen, you do have a sector of men, heterosexual, fully heterosexual men who will never touch another man, that likes to be pegged by women only. Okay, that's part of this human sexuality spectrum that we're talking about, right? And then you have men who like to be pegged by men or trans women. So it's a spectrum of this thing, but yes, they do exist. But I also could understand how people wouldn't can't get their head around it, because then I got to talk about my hypocrisy. I am a chauvinist in a lot of ways, right? Like, I personally, this is me. I personally look at a man being pegged or penetrated as a feminine quality, or something feminine, or something submissive, and that's a huge turn off to me, because I like masculinity, dominance, and things like that. So if I know a man is into that, I'm going to be automatically turned off, because I know that is something he's going to eventually want that I'm not going to be willing to provide. But I'm not saying that he's gay. I'm just saying that it gives me more of a feminine or a submissive quality that turns me off personally.
Okay, let me ask a quick question. Okay, so when we think of heterosexual men, we think of the penetrator. Do we think of someone, the gender that is often penetrated?
Say again?
When we think of men, we think of men as the penetrator. Do we think of men as being penetrated? Is that the first thing that comes to mind, as men as being penetrated? You know, legs up, something going in his ass. Like, that's the first thing you guys associate with heterosexual men?
No.
Absolutely. So the point I'm here, that's what I'm making. Like, any man who's willing to have his butthole, you know, blown on, or do the circle dot dot, whatever the fuck it is that's going around his asshole, I see it as like, yes, this man must have homosexual tendencies, especially if he's willing to get pegged.
But they won't touch a man. They won't touch a man. I'm telling you. They have no attraction.
But here's the thing. You have a biased opinion. And when you ask the question, when you think of a man, right? It's because that's how we've been raised. Girls wear pink. Boys wear blue. You better not pick up that Barbie. You play with trucks, right? Traditionally, it's like that is how we are raised. You've never been pegged. You never had your asshole played with. You don't know how good it would feel. All you're going off of is society says that men are not supposed to like their assholes blown or but you don't know. You have a biased opinion. When you get your asshole played with, licked, touched, rubbed, or whatever, then you can say, you know what, this shit ain't for me. But right now, my point is that you're just speaking from stereotypes.
And that's why I said I can see. That's why I said I can see why one would think that, because all of us have been taught that. All of us have been taught that, right?
Okay,
so even I thought that. Even I thought that.
So Lily and Jen, let's say if you got a date with your crush and you fantasize about having sex with this man, you said in your mind, oh, this is going to be amazing. I know this motherfucker. I know this motherfucker hung. Blah blah blah. And then next thing you know, y'all get into bed, y'all get into the motion of it, and he lifts his legs up.
I've had it happen, and it's a wrap, because it's not that I think he's, but it's not that I think he's gay. It's just that I'm not attracted to submissiveness and things like that. But I don't look at it like that.
But we automatically, there's a part of us that associates submissiveness with.
But we explained why. However, here's the thing. Yes, I did.
We did answer it.
The question right now. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. But again, here's the thing. You've never been taken by a woman. A woman's never rode you. You've never been under her. Because under a woman is submissive. All right, that's submissive. Why aren't you? But here's the thing. Why don't the only position you do during sex is banging her from the back? Because that's masculine. You seen Game of Thrones, right? You seen Game of Thrones. You seen Jason Momoa. He only fucked one way, bang, 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 because he was a man, right? Until she taught him, I can be over you. So it's like, stop the cap. Heterosexual men are often submissive during sex. Y'all are not throwing bitches around in the bed, fucking bitch, fucking, and then you throw her to the side. Y'all have been submissive. Y'all moan. Y'all groan. When you come, that's submissive. If you're coming in me or in my mouth, that's submissive. You're submitting to me. I'm controlling you.
I don't see that.
So you think you're in control when you get head?
I don't see that.
You think you're in control when you're getting head?
And being penetrated in your ass like two two completely different scenarios. Two completely different scenarios. Especially if
it's a whole.
getting
It's a
reamed
whole.
out, getting rammed out by a woman in your backside, and your ass is cocked up, and he's moaning like a broad. That is,
See, but look what you just said. But look what you just said. You just but look what you just said. What you just did was you gave him feminine traits. That's what you just did.
That is often
You said bent over. No, you said bent over, moaning like a broad. You gave him feminine traits. So you gave him feminine traits so you can rationalize what you're saying, because in your mind you have to make him homosexual for it to make sense.
He's being pegged by a phallus. Don't keep that out. Don't forget that also.
A phallus? What do you mean? A dildo or a real dick? Because there's a difference.
A dick or usually when pegging.
But complex is like, what the fuck is happening?
A woman like I like when she grabbed me, she talked shit to me in my ear, like, or when that shit turned me on, or she being, how can I say this?
Aggressive and dominant.
She being kinky. It turned me on.
But that's a kink for other people.
But like, come on though, like.
So you like, hold on. So that sounds like you like to be you like to be dominated, but not to that level.
Get out of me, get that dick hard. Like, oh, okay, like it turns me on.
That's dominance.
But like, if she's telling you like get on all fours, and like that's a whole different.
But that's the spectrum that I'm speaking of. But
that's also a kink,
category.
though. But that's also a kink.
But it's the same category, though. Let's not move off of that. That is the same category, but you just don't go that far, okay? And I'm going to explain what that means, right?
Men pay for that.
Hell yeah. But this is the thing, right? And a lot more men like to be pegged than people know, right? Let's keep it real. And typically it's the masculine presenting men that love to be pegged. But especially them damn bodybuilders. I don't know what it is about their ass. But this is the thing. That is a form of dominant and submission, right? So let's say if like I like to be like the submissive one in the bedroom, right? I like my man to be dominant, right? So that's the roles, right? I'll take the submission role, he takes the dominant role, but how far we go is how like determines on our comfort level, right? So what you're talking about is you like a dominant woman. That is typically the woman who will be pegging a man, but you don't want to go that far. That's okay. That's beyond your comfort level. But that is in the same vein. There's the same vein.
That's what I'm saying. Stop the cap.
Stop the cap, man.
Easy said, does being vulnerable equal feminine? I love that question, because you let Haran tell her, yeah, he's gonna be like, being feminine, being vulnerable, that gay, that shit gay. I'm Jamaican.
I am not a yo, fuck that, man. I'm not a vulnerable dude. I'm just not just like
but also, but I'll say this. A lot of men are rigid also because of their upbringing as well. Again, going back to the Caucasian, they're freer in general. And just in general, they're freer. But remember, our backgrounds is like a man better act like a man, look like a man, walk like a man, talk like a man, or it's gonna be some shit.
Look, I've been in the industry, I've been in bands, you know what I mean, with white dudes. The motherfuckers, like, they're real free with each other. They'll hug each other. They'll make dick jokes. They'll make all kinds of weird shit.
Football players smack each other on the ass.
You know what I mean? And whatever. And sometimes when I'm around, I'll be like, man, cut that shit out, please. Just wait till I leave the room. This shit is just weird. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it wasn't shocking to me to see No Saint walking around the house in his thong. It was just like, oh, this is this shit that white boys do. You know what I'm saying? And so it just was what it was.
But dig this. Did you think that No Saint was a homosexual or had tendencies?
I'm glad you brought that up.
No, I didn't.
I'm glad you brought that up.
See, but so then you're using stereotypes as well. When you tell the chat, oh, you ain't questioning him because he's white. Well, you didn't question him either. You part of the chat. No, I mean, you part of the chat.
No, I didn't question him. I didn't question him because I'm used to being around white dudes who are just open and free. Like I've been
And-
around.
Right, but that's my point, Haran, that you give them a pass to be themselves. We don't give each other that pass. We don't give each other that pass. You hear about a man getting his asshole licked. You gay. You gay. No Saint gets his asshole licked. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna discuss it and laugh, and we're not gonna think
Not
he's
gonna
gay
discuss
when we
So,
calm down.
I'm
We're
glad
not
y'all
gonna
brought
think
this.
he's gay when he leaves.
No,
I'm glad
absolutely
y'all brought.
not.
I'm glad y'all
Not
brought
gonna
this up.
discuss.
I'm glad y'all brought this up. I got a call this week, right? And
Mhm.
me and the person was talking. It was a heterosexual black man, and it was like, "Oh, I love the shows that you all did. We were in Vegas," and he was like, "Is No Saint gay?" And we got into this conversation. I said, only a black man would ask that question, right? I said, no, he's just a white boy. Literally, that was literally what I said. I said, no, he's just a white boy. And they don't have the hangups that black men have around sexuality, right? So they can be fun and free and funny and make jokes and stuff like that. And I'm just gonna, because I grew up around a lot of white boys. I know, like Haran said, that's just they're free. They don't think about it. That's not even a thought to them. They don't care, right? And so literally that was my answer. And I had to break it down. And he was like, oh wow, I never thought about it like that. And I was like, yeah,
So is the
we are
question
raised to be homophobic.
okay? So then is the question is, are black men more homophobic than other men? Then we got it. Then why people say no, that ain't true? It is the truth, because even Haran, as rigid as he is, gives No Saint a pass. But if he heard that a black man did that, walked around in a thong while we were cooking. If you guys haven't seen it, Lily and I have 2 cooking videos in our underwear. It is in my gallery. We did 2 videos where we're cooking for the fellas. We were out in Vegas together. Plug. But Haran, if No Saint was black, you would have pulled me to the side, be like, "This nigga gay. He gay. I'm telling you, he gay." That's fucked up.
I wouldn't have said that. I'd have just been like, yo, this white man in the kitchen right now. You're like, oh, if there was another if a black dude did it,
Yes.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I ain't gonna lie.
You see? All
Yeah,
right then.
so-
No, I wouldn't have pulled you to the side. I'd have pulled him to the side, like, yo, brother, we not
Like
fit to do this on camera.
So
Okay, so-
it's answer now question. That is the answer to the question. This is
Because-
Exhibit A. Exhibit A always shows up.
Because black men got more to lose. Fuck it. I'll just say it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, black men got more to lose. So I'd have pulled that brother to the side.
What?
Like,
No. Let's explore that. What do you mean more to lose? What would he have lost?
Put some pants on, because I wouldn't want him to get ridiculed. He would got ridiculed more so. It'll be more so
By who? Ridiculed by who? Ridiculed by who? Black men that think like you, Haran?
I mean, and so on. Black men in general.
Haran, he would have been ridiculed by black men that think like you.
Yeah, some of them do think like
Okay.
me. Absolutely. And I wouldn't want that for him. Absolutely.
So you're part of the problem, but you don't want the problem to affect
We're
someone
all
else.
part of some problem. God damn it. This is like there's a million problems in the world. We're all part of some problem.
Do you hear this?
Listen,
I cannot.
I'm gonna-
This is the crew. This is the crew.
Talking about what we're talking about
Oh my
with
God.
going back to the pegging and things. So there are
Stand
a
up
lot
for
of
your pegging nose thing.
well, no, I've never done it.
Would you do it?
Just but see, it's different. I've thought about it, and the reason I've thought about it is because I mean I've already explained that I've been
you talked about
to a
the
dominatrix.
Yeah,
and that's
you
kind
talked
of
about that.
it's less about that than more about just being dominated, and that's like almost like the ultimate domination. It's
Right.
you know what I mean? But I haven't. But what I want to say is it's the same. Like you can say if you go down on a woman and eat her booty, you're in a submissive position. You are not
If you eat her pussy,
dominant,
if you
any
eat her
of that.
pussy, you're submissive to her.
So it is something. And as Lily was saying, we learned that like I think early 20s. A friend of mine was like, "This is why gay people like to do it in the butt." There was a book, and it was explaining there was a prostate and that, you know. So I mean, but again, I'm kind of uptight about anything. Like I've never had anything there just because I'm a little uptight about it. But I've contemplated if it happened, it would be in that situation where I was, you know, being dominated by a dominatrix or something. But yeah, I mean, we all have some kind of hangups.
Hell yeah.
You know, from the way we were raised.
We all do. We all do. All of us.
And
then we grow up.
I'm like, yo, like whatever happened to being a vanilla? Like, yo, like, shit.
I mean,
But you
listen,
have that. You got that
listen.
choice. You
Yo,
got the
Yeah.
option.
I
Look,
enjoy
listen.
missionary.
I
Like,
like
that's
tying. I like
wonderful.
tying
Like,
chicks up. I literally like tying chicks up and beating their ass. So who am I to you know what I mean? Sit
That's
here.
that white shit. That's that white shit. Because you come
what is
near
that?
me with a rope and I'm gonna put it around your neck. Don't come near me with a fucking rope. Okay.
Yo,
Complex, you were saying
You got all
that's
kinds
that
of
white
angles
shit.
first, man.
you
So
got
you know what I mean? You ready to just be violent just for the sake of it? You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Anyway, go ahead, Tom.
The lies this family tells. The lies.
all you guys gotta head dive into some holy water and be baptized because y'all are some
Oh, I got baptized, baby.
Man, how old are
Yeah.
you? How old are you? How old are you, Complex?
He's
How old are
young.
you, Complex?
God,
He's young. It's okay. I've been young
How old are
too.
you, Complex?
I've been young too.
I'm 30.
Oh
I'm 30.
yeah,
Oh, boy,
baby. You're a
man,
baby.
great.
You're a baby. You ain't even had sex yet. For real, for real. You just been playing around.
Probably
You
learn how
still
to
on foreplay.
stroke.
You still on
You haven't
foreplay,
perfected
boo.
the stroke yet, man.
Go.
You
No,
haven't
it's just again. It's just it's tradition, it's religion, it's the way we were raised. You know what I mean? I feel like anything between two consenting adults and nobody's being hurt unless they want to be hurt, right? It's fine. It's fine. But religion and your mama and your daddy tell you different. But if it's two consenting adults, whether there's an exchange of money, if there's two people that was like, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. But yes, I think you could be a heterosexual male and get a finger in your butt and not wake up gay the next day.
So Jay, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
If you know you in the his little no area, right?
No,
And
yo,
you,
what the fuck is that? When we gotta talk like adults, sir. The fucking no area. What is this?
and you know he be like he start wincing like a puppy.
Mm.
You gonna think that's sexy if he start wincing?
Yeah, but
like,
here's the thing: I could be riding him, and if he went, that's a turn off too.
okay.
It has nothing to do with where I am. It has nothing to do with.
That's bullshit. So you telling me you never
wincing like a puppy, it would turn you off because that's not necessarily masculine.
Wherever he is, yes. But here's the thing: I've cracked masculine men. Y'all not as masculine as y'all think y'all are. Depending on the situation, you're mas macho in public. Trust me.
Okay.
Trust me.
Moxie even said like, "Ew, no thanks." You wouldn't think he was masculine, Moxie, if he whimpered like a schoolgirl.
But see, we got to be careful because I know gay men who are more masculine than heterosexual males.
Very much so. And let's go there next.
Stop the bullshit.
Let's go there next because that is the biggest misconception around the hugest misconception around gayness.
I mean, I'm sure every gay
all
man
gay people are not all, but let me be clear. All gay men are not feminine.
Absolutely
Most
not.
of them are masculine,
Yeah.
or like kind of falling in the middle somewhere. Most of them are masculine.
Guy, he was a welterweight champion back like in the 50s. Emil Griffith. He was from New York City, bisexual. He killed the guy in the ring.
Well, this is not. Let's just slow this down for a second. I'm not saying that if you're gay or even if you're an effeminate gay male, it means that you're pussy or if you're a coward or anything like that.
Clear that up. Clear that.
Please clear that up.
Because like I've known some gay dudes who are cold with their hands. They'd have knocked out a couple of
cold my motherfucking hands. What you talking about?
I know a couple of them cold with their hands. So let's just clear that up. I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? I'm just, saying that, hey,
like you're trying. I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to attach anything to do with a man's ass to femininity or homosexuality, and you can't. But you can't, Haran. You can't because
that's penetration. That's an area.
No. You cannot attach anything. Bye, Complex. Complex is like, I'm the fuck out of here. These people crazy.
Y'all old motherfuckers crazy. This
I
bottom
had
come
your
up
back
here.
though. I had
See,
your back
like,
though.
Mom likes to see this bottom come up here. He's over.
Don't
I
come
had
up
his
on a
back
Friday.
though. I had his back. I had his back. He's
Don't
cool.
come up on Friday.
He's a
He's
good dude,
great. He's
man.
always
He's a good
great.
young man,
Always.
man.
I mean,
Very good young man.
listen. I love to hear from the young people. I really do
Me
because
too.
it's like I'm not that age anymore. So it's like, what are you guys experiencing? What are you guys doing down there in your 20s and 30s? I want to know. Yeah. So going back to you, Haran, and your homophobia. Okay.
Okay.
You cannot automatically associate homosexuality and femininity to a man's asshole. That's not how it works. That's not how
Okay.
it works. Like, there are men that are super, super freaky, like the real freaks. And then there are the guys who think they're freaks, right? And then you start introducing new things to them. They're like, no, I don't want to do that. I think that's a feminine trait. I think being soft in bed and not experimental, I think that's a feminine trait. What are you scared of? What are you scared? Like, women are scared to do shit. Why are you scared? That's a feminine trait.
Okay.
That's a feminine trait to me. But no, I don't think ass play is automatically that. There are a lot of freaks out there that are into some wild shit, right? No saying.
Well, I think this goes back because even in growing up the way I grew up and in a society that says a lot of things that if you do this, you're a certain way, makes people hesitate into actually exploring a lot more things that they might explore if you didn't have that stigma. I had to laugh because there's this old guy. He lives out in Vegas now. He used to be Howard Stern's limousine driver, and he talks about being pegged by his soon-to-be wife. Right? He's 70-something years old. But when they brought to his attention, if they made a dildo and say Jason Momoa's penis or a porn star Lexington Steele, would he use it? And he absolutely was against it. It's a piece of plastic. It's the same piece of plastic that someone's penetrating him with. But when they attach it to a male, he was like,
Right.
"No,
And
I'm not doing it."
And that's the point I was making. That's the point I was making. There are men who like to be pegged and they want nothing to do with a male. Nothing. Absolutely, positively nothing. And that's why I'm saying there's a large spectrum here that we're dealing with. A large spectrum. And what Jen said when I walked away.
You two women admitted that if a man wanted to be pegged, you would not see him
But
as
I
a man.
No, you took me wrong. I said I enjoy being the submissive. If we got two submissives, that's like having two you know what I'm saying? Two positive side, you know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
Correct.
Jen,
same with me.
Okay,
No, it's the same with me. However, with that said, first of all, I'm not going to get in a relationship with a man to handle him like a woman during sex. I'm not going to do that. It's not my thing. However, with that said, I don't like vanilla men. I've been with vanilla men. I don't like them. I grow bored of them. I start fantasizing about my ex who had me upside down. I don't like vanilla men, and I don't like the word no. I don't like when men say no. I wouldn't do that, and I don't know, and why someone did that to you before, and I don't like vanilla men. I don't like vanilla men. Like, if you want to add feminine to anything, you want to add feminine to something, you want to tag feminine on a man, let that be it then. I don't like vanilla sex. I don't like guys that don't take risks in bed. I don't like it. With that said, I'm not going to get with a whole man to treat him like a woman in bed. So no, I wouldn't be into a guy that'd be like, "Hey, you're gonna peg me Monday, Tuesday, and then maybe." No, I'm like, no, that's not why I'm with you. But that doesn't automatically make him gay. That's his fucking kink. That's his thing. Okay. That's his thing. And I understand. And I'll throw the mic to you after this. And I understand because there's a fucking G spot in his fucking ass. If you put your finger in and curve your finger, you hit a G spot. So if you're giving him head and you're hitting that G spot from inside his ass, his orgasm is explosive.
No, it's very explosive.
So I understand why a man would say, I want the most explosive orgasm. So can you stick a finger in there? Why are you giving me head so I can explode? I fucking completely understand it. It doesn't mean that he's a homosexual.
Right, exactly. Like you said, I get it. It's just not my thing. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Like, it is what it is.
I mean, yes, there are a lot of homosexual people out here. There are a lot of sexual people out here, and there are a lot of straight people that be like, touch me everywhere.
but I'm gonna tell
And
you,
those are my people. That's my tribe.
and in my experience, the ones who
Put it in my
wanted
ear.
me, right, the ones who wanted me to peg them have always been the ones that people would least expect, including me. I least expect. You surprised? You shocked me. I didn't know that's what we was doing here. You know. So yeah, it has nothing to do with because even with the masculine feminine thing, it's the ones that have approached me. They're very masculine. They're very built. They're very macho, and those are the ones that like it. And me and my bestie was talking about this today too. Not only that, y'all, but those are the ones that want the most. And they want it the hardest. Like, it's the craziest thing. It's because like we're all taught one thing and people do other things. And so it's like we gotta deprogram ourselves and know that there's way more out here than how we were taught. I'm still learning, we're still learning,
Yeah,
you know. So
true. Because I'm still learning. So I'm like, really? That they do that? How they do that? You know, what I mean,
woo,
we're
child, the
still
stuff,
learning.
baby, them boys like to take some things. I said, well, damn.
Harana over here trying to kink shame. That's what he doing tonight.
Oh, look, listen.
Kink shamer. Kink shamer. Everybody point at Haran. Kink shamer.
I guess to some degree I am shaming.
Kink shamer. Kink shamer.
I mean, look, man, I associate penetration with women. That's it. You know what I mean?
Associate.
Yeah, I do.
Somebody got to turn your ass out, man. Somebody
Now,
got
you know, you want to hear
come
something?
up. Let you come up on some millions of dollars. Let you come up on some millions of dollars and have your body where you want. Somebody got to turn your ass out. Watch.
Well, so there's
more money, more freedom.
There's a freak in my ass. Like, I'm good.
That's what he said.
There's a saying.
That's what he said.
There's a saying in the gay community that this is the oldest saying. It's older than dirt. Yesterday's top is tomorrow's bottom. And then the other one is yesterday's trade is tomorrow's competition. So like shit changes. Like, I'm not saying this about you, Haran, but what I'm saying is like, yeah, it's because somebody might be with somebody and they might be getting head and they're in the like middle of coming and somebody put that finger up there and then they whoosh and they turn the fuck out. You know, shit happens.
Like I said, some of the stories that Jenny done told me, and she'd be like, "Be cracking niggas' asses." I'll be like, ugh. You know
it was. Let's not exaggerate, because you know these dickheads watching. Let's not exaggerate. It was two men, and I was with one of them for 11 years, and the other one with 13 years. Okay. After a decade of a relationship, y'all started experimenting. These men did not bend over. They did not make funny noises. They were not with it. I had to convince them. There was liquor involved, okay? And the next day, they was like, "Yo, if you ever tell anybody," so names will be changed in my book. But it was but I'm saying because they feel like you. They feel like people gonna think I'm gay. That's why. And they were both black. Okay, so let's clear that up, because these motherfuckers watching and be like, "She cracks asses." No, bitch. It was two relationships. Let me clear it up for you fucking lurking ass bitch ass hoes. Two relationships. One for 11 years, the other one for 13. Okay, and you know
when you finish with the book, I'm gonna remind you changed them brothers' names, right?
Yes.
You protected them brothers' names, right?
Yeah, because it's their story to tell. If they want to tell that story, they have every right to tell it. But you know, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. You know, I mean, hey, no. If someone tells me no, I'm not gonna. I don't want to. I'm not gonna insist. Like, no, I want to tell your story. I'm not gonna do it. Right. But it's not a you know, because people hear it and they be like, "Oh yeah, you say you like cracking ass." No, I don't know. I play around. I say it like that. But it was in relationships, and people in relationships, you know, thankfully in those relationships, I felt very sexually free. And so did that other person. That's something else that we talk hot shit up here. Don't we, Haran? You're the one, if a woman feels sexually free with you, she gonna, but it's the same thing with men. When someone feels sexually free and you trust them and they trust you when you both naked, that is the best sex ever. But when you have sex, and I think we've all done this, when you have sex with somebody that you know is reserved or that you know is religious, don't we half step? They don't get the platinum package. They don't get the platinum
No,
cable package.
no,
We've
no.
all had sex with a lame, and we knew what we could and could not do with that person. So all you people lurking, you're probably one of them. Okay.
And women are freaky.
Okay, women are super duper freaky, usually more than men. Now, men think because they have multiple partners and they don't
And they like a
connect
lot
while
of sex.
having, and they like a lot of sex, they think they're freaky. Partners and numbers of partners doesn't make you freaky. Half of y'all couldn't even be freaky. Y'all run from the room holding your nuts. Y'all run right out. Y'all
If
would
they
run
really know what
right
really
out the
woman
room.
really wanted, if they knew what women really wanted, they would run out the room.
But we've all had sex with that lame, and it's like, let me not do this to this person. But when we've been in bed with that motherfucker that was down for whatever, that's a whole different experience.
Jen, let's go back to this though, because you and I, we like black men.
We do.
Okay. We like black men. And so we, like you said, we know what we can do with who. We know.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so do you think a lot of that has to do with what we were talking about earlier, like that reservation and stuff like that the black men have, like, because they aren't that freaky. Like a lot of black men are vanilla. They really are.
Agree.
They are.
Sorry, guys. I think black men, let's tell the truth and shame the devil on tonight. We're already here. Fuck it. We got 50 people in the room. We got 50 people in the room. Let's tell the truth and shame the fake devil. Hit that like and subscribe for mama. Hit me with a super chat if you're enjoying the show. Okay. Let's just say this. Black men do tend to be vanilla out of all the ethnicities. Yes. You got the Latin freaks, the Latin lover. You got the white guys, they throwing on thongs and throwing down kegs of beer and slapping each other in the ass, and they're not gay the next day. Black men, I would say, are the most vanilla because they prayed up. Okay. They prayed up and they're afraid of being considered gay. And that makes you very, very reserved. Now, I know we're going to get pushback. I'm black and I'm a freak. I'm a freak. No, you just slept with 4 or 5 women in a week. That doesn't make you a freak. High numbers don't make you a freak. Half of y'all, if I even mention doing certain things, oh, no, you'd clutch your rope chains. Okay. No, okay.
I will not classify myself as vanilla. I just don't want nothing in my ass. We all have boundaries.
No, we all have boundaries. We're not saying definitely not damn vanilla. You like the what bitches? What we're saying is typically, and black men won't do like BDSM. A lot of them. It's a very low number of black men who participate in BDSM, right? But then you'll have way more black women who will want it. Right. So up until more so, I guess more recently, you might have more creeping in, but they may have to go, if they want that done, go to a white guy to get that done.
Jay, would you ever be into asphyxiation?
What you mean, like a chokey choke during the stroke? A choke stroke?
Well, damn near you pass out, but chokey choke.
Of course. Let me tell you, the majority of women are into the choke stroke.
Hell yeah.
For the records.
Or not the choke stroke, not just the choke stroke, an actual bag being put over your head and a tie.
No, that's no.
Actually stimulating your vagina.
No, because and let me say this. I think that to me that's not freaky.
Okay.
I'm gonna be completely honest. To me, that's not freaky. That's some psychological shit.
Okay.
In my opinion, that's some psychological shit because that is literally close to death. Okay. That's close to death. When you're imitating something that can kill somebody, you're going into a whole different psychological part of somebody's brain. Okay. So that to me doesn't fall into freaky. That's a whole other realm. Sorry, that's my opinion. That's a whole other. Let me put a bag on your head and right before you're gonna die, I'm gonna release it and it's gonna make me come on you. That's a whole other psychological situation.
Okay.
I'll just say that.
I mean, that is in some communities. That is in certain communities that does happen. You know what I mean? That's
fuck yeah. I mean, a lot of people are into BDSM, but with that said, going back to the choky stroke, that's more about dominance and feeling the power of a man and feeling submissive and delicate under the power of a man, right? That's what that is. That whole other shit. Let me tie you up until your eyes bug out, and I'm gonna let go. That's a whole other. That's a whole other shit.
What is that? Snuff,
No,
sex,
oof.
snuff.
Film shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no.
because there is a, like, to me, in my opinion, there I've had things that people try to introduce to me. I'm like, I don't look at that as sex. That's not sex. That's
That
something
okay,
else.
that's thank you. But you know what, Lily? You have an excellent point because a lot of that shit doesn't even involve sex, does it?
Right. That's
It
why I'm like,
doesn't even involve sex. So that's why I separate it, because somebody would just enjoys tying somebody up without
mhm.
sex or penetration, or whooping their ass without sex or penetration, or telling them what to do without sex or penetration, or wearing a leather shit with a little hole in the mouth without sex. And that's what I'm saying. That's a whole other human category. I don't even think that should be on the list of sex or freaky sex. That's a
But it
whole
could
other
involve
situation.
sex. It could involve sex.
It can, but it rarely does.
You know what I
But it
mean?
rarely does.
It doesn't necessarily have to.
Yeah. So that's a whole other situation. Adam Hearn got a question. Haran, did you ever live in Tokyo by chance? I remember a big black guy from a fetish party who wore a mask with long beads rope rammed up his ass. Was that you, Haran?
Nah, it definitely wasn't me. But I probably was in Tokyo.
He's like, I saw a big black man with that. Is that you? Like, what the fuck?
Because all big black motherfuckers look alike.
Right, exactly.
That's not true. Men use toys with their women. Men use toys with their women. Yeah.
They're starting to do it more now,
no.
but you remember back in the day, Jen, a lot of black men, they didn't even want to. They saw a toy, they're like, what the fuck, you know?
No, black men, what are y'all doing? Why y'all so vanilla? It's 53 of y'all lurking. Come in the chat. Let us know why y'all so fucking vanilla. Is it Jesus? Is it black Jesus? Is it your mama? Why y'all so vanilla? Is it because you're afraid to be seen as gay? There's so many people lurking and like 5 people comment. Yo, Lily, everybody's like this tonight.
Let me find out some of you dudes is over here struggling with some things, man.
Right.
Yeah, they'll be. I want to hear what Jen into.
Look, listen, man. Look, man. If y'all into getting your butt played with,
What's up, Christopher Higdon? He said, "I said, what in the butt is going on in here?"
I mean,
everything. Would you say okay? Haran, you're a black man. You're the only one. You're the only black man here, so you got to represent for the 53 lurkers. Sorry.
Since they don't want to speak up and see if they're vanilla or not.
It's good.
Aside from the BDSM, because again, I don't consider that sex. I just don't. That's a kink, a hobby, or whatever. Do you think that you're vanilla sexually? I think you're vanilla sexually.
Nah, you think I'm vanilla sexually because I don't want to get nothing rammed up my ass.
Forget the rammed up the ass. I think you're vanilla. Take your ass out of it. You don't even have an ass. Now what? Are you vanilla?
You don't even have an ass.
I'm not vanilla? Nah, I'm not vanilla sexually.
You're not vanilla?
No.
Give me
Ask
an
me a
example.
question and I'll tell you whether or not I've done it.
I just said, give me an example. Like, what have you done that's not vanilla? What have you done where it's like, oh shit, the girl was like, oh, it blew her mind.
I don't even see anything of this as vanilla, but as I was stroking a woman, and this takes a lot of fucking balance. Her legs were right here. I was inside of her, and I had a vibrator on the clitoris, and I had another vibrator in her ass. So I was basically on top of her clitoris, in her pussy, in her ass, basically following the rhythm of that. I've also done a situation where I told you this story before. I had an ex of mine. I had her come over. I blindfolded her on the bed. And when I told her to wait right here. And when I came back, I had one of my friends who was a stud that I knew she had a crush on, and we both had sex with her.
You brought in a gay woman?
She's a woman. She had a crush on her. I knew she had a crush on her, so I was like, all right. So I surprised her on her birthday.
Oh, okay. So she had a crush on her. Okay, that's cute.
Yeah, I knew she had a crush on her. She tried to hide it, but I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. No Saint, are you vanilla?
No Saint ain't vanilla.
No Saint ain't vanilla.
Big old freak.
Put a fist up her
Listen,
ass.
I'm contemplating things that you're saying, like when you say like. Now you might have been talking about the extreme putting the bag over the head thing.
You wanted me and Jen to beat you in Vegas. Stop it.
But I'm saying,
yes, you did. Listen, yes, I remember that shit. I was like, the chat.
Why don't I remember it?
I remember.
There was two people.
The YouTube press is funny.
Two people who agreed. I was like, chat. Well, one up if you want Lily and Jenna whoop your ass. No Saint threw a one up.
Oh, I remember. Okay, now I remember. I was tired, so that's like being drunk.
And you two pressed through a one up. He wanted both.
Okay.
And then No Saint was behind us, and he put one. and we talked about. We were like,
I remember.
I mean, I was thinking about what you were saying, and it's kind of weird because, listen, the again, maybe some people find out in an earlier age. For me, I started finding out things about myself as life went on. Like, wow, I'm looking at this. There's certain things I did find out early on in life. I will say that, but there's other things that I'm like, oh, wow, that like just reading like, oh, that would be interesting. I don't have the time for it. But there's certain things that would turn me on that aren't necessarily doesn't have to be sex. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I mean, so when you say BDSM is not sexual, but it is kind of because it could, I think it could. Yeah, it's an arousal thing. You know, I mean, the craziest things. The crazy.
Yeah, but
let me explain. You're gonna think
killers get aroused by chopping people up too.
But listen. Let me throw this out here. Never done it. Like I said, wouldn't have the time to do it. But I was looking on one of these websites. I think it was called FetLife or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I know that.
And a woman was saying that she wanted someone to come over, be a full-time kind of like slave, like come over, clean the dishes, vacuum the house, and I was like, don't have time for it. Kind of can't do it in the middle of raising the family. But that's kind of a turn on. I don't know.
I see what's happening here. Lily, next trip, we got to talk.
Right.
I see what's happening.
So my point is that there are things that you find out about yourself that I don't know where that comes from, you know. But I realize that people like sexuality and things that turn you on is really more up here than anything else. You know, because
it's fluid and it's evolving. I've evolved over the years. I'm like, oh, let me try that. I'm like, I'm like, just don't have the time, or damn, I want to do that, but he's not the guy, so
I was like, what No Saint just described just sounds like marriage to a bitch to me. Just marry a bitch.
Are you joking?
Well, but I've explained that to you before. It's different for me once you have a connection with somebody in a relationship and you're raising a family.
Absolutely, I'm just joking. Absolutely,
yeah. No, it doesn't work that way. Like once I'm the man in the relationship, I take on more of those roles. This other thing would be this person has no real connection to me, but to treat me like a piece of property, and that for some reason to me is kind of
No Saint, get your money up. I got you.
Look, man, listen. If I wake up in the middle of the day and I hear, more mistress, I swear to God, I ain't coming out the room, man.
Listen, because what was it? It was 300. He paid the other girl, right? So I was like, what you got two here now, right? So what we talking?
I'm not coming out the room.
Listen, yo.
Please just text me when it's over. Whatever's happening.
Haran, does that fork look clean to you, bitch? Would you eat off that fork, bitch?
All that.
Now lick that gravy off the fork. Lick it off now. I was gonna let you wash it, but now you gotta lick it off, bitch.
Yes, just like that.
Go back. I would go back to my room like a traumatized child, like. And then she touched here, and oh God,
Adam Hearn, thank you for the super chat. Says Myron from what?
Fresh and Fit were crying tonight.
Fresh and Fit.
Did you hear that? No, I have not.
Okay.
Which one is Myron? Ren or Stimpy?
The tall one, Stimpy. Why did I know which one you were talking about, though?
Okay. Pomona Tumba. Which one? Which was Timona Poo? Which one was crying?
One. Yes, it's the skinny one. Yes.
Okay.
The tall one. Yes.
Tweedledum.
All right. Okay.
Well, maybe we didn't know because we was up here. Maybe that's why we didn't know. The
Indian looking one. The Indian looking one. The Indian looking one.
Be all over the goddamn.
Listen, if he was crying, like I said, all these dudes eventually the shit just comes tumbling down. Eventually, it's just I'm telling you, it implodes from within because there's so much pain behind those channels. Like them dudes are in pain.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are just in pain, man.
That's all it is.
They're in pain and they just want to be a pain in people's asses, and it's just like sometimes it's like ugh.
All right, so when is our next trip? Look, for anybody lurking and watching, since y'all are in the damn room, we hooked up all 4 of us in Vegas, and we are dropping content all along these weeks. You have to check all our pages and follow us. I'm going to drop this banner so you can see everybody's name and follow them. You got Lily YB Limited. You have Saint No Saint, and you have Haran DeMarco. We're all on Instagram, and we're all on YouTube, and it'd be so much love if you followed all of us because we're dropping all our Vegas content. We have this crazy photo shoot we did. We're going to be dropping that as well. We also have skits that we did together. We dropped some of those and some behind the scenes of us just hanging out in Vegas. And we're going to do it more often. We're going to get together and bring you content. Like I said earlier, Lily and I dropped 2 cooking videos where we cooked for the fellas in our undies. And that's where the infamous No Saint walked by. I mean, what's crazy? Let me just say this. They talk about No Saint and his thong more than they talk about me and you in our underwear, Lily.
Right. And I said this morning to somebody, and he did. And I said this morning, because we did 2 streams. The one with No Saint walking through with his thong did crazy numbers.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
opposed to the one with just us 2.
See?
So No Saint did steal the show. He stole the show.
Always taking some
he colonized our fucking show. It's supposed to have been about us, No Saint. You colonized it.
I hear Moxie's got that thing on repeat. He just sits there and has me walking through.
I still gotta clip that. I keep forgetting.
Oh my God, we so gotta fucking clip that and drop it tomorrow.
Thanks, Mr.
I keep
Tyrone
forgetting.
Church. There's Moxie.
Are those pancakes?
Flapjacks.
Yeah, Haran just dropped his link to his channel. Please support him by going to his channel and subscribing so he can get to his 50 subscribers. And then we'll be doing after shows from all 3 of our channels, my channel, No Saint, and Haran's channel. Please support by subscribing to his channel.
Haran just dropped the link. Follow all of us, you guys, because we all do have
fellas, we ain't gonna be, it's a safe space. We ain't gonna be talking about if you want some shit in your ass.
No, that's here. That's on the block.
Yeah, we gonna talk about some other stuff, man. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna take care of you, brothers. All right, we ain't gonna do all that.
This is a safe space too. This is a safe space for the guys who like a little finger in that. You know, maybe up to here. Not that. Let's not get panicky. This is a little.
There's 3 parts. There's 3 parts. There's 3 parts.
Okay.
You got the first part.
Just let me put the tip
second
in.
part. And you got the third part, so not down to 3, just one, just the one part.
Just let me put the tip in. That's it.
So is there a gay threshold? Like
There is
maybe it's
no.
3.
Unless he's gay, no.
Then like, oh, this nigga gay.
Listen, I'm standing up for my heterosexual men who just like their butts licked. There's a lot of them.
And there's a lot of them. There are a lot of them. Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Love
Look what
getting
Tyrone. Look at what Tyrone said. Listen, a woman's tongue feels nice. It just listen. We lick places, and it feel. You may not even know you know what I mean. You may not even know that you like that to begin with. Then it happens. You're like, oh shit. Oh my God. Easy said Haran wants the whole fist.
Okay, Easy. Okay. Easy. Be easy.
Good.
Be easy.
Be
Man.
easy.
I'm good.
All right, guys. So we are out of here. I do want I want the panel to fall back, but we out of here. We out of here. Unless somebody drops a super chat by the time I count to 10, then we out of here. Because it's getting late. We love to sit and chat and talk more about sex and Freaky Friday and our black men homophobic. But if I don't see a super chat in the next few minutes,
I'm counting on YouTube press.
Because no thing you ready to go live for 10 hours and shit.
No, I'll stay on longer, but it has to be worth it. I got to see some. Let me see a super chat. If not, then we out of here because we talked a lot. We divulged a lot. We said a lot. This shit was really, really fun. I'm glad that it was. I'm glad it was educational. I'm glad that we got our feelings out, and I'm glad that it was raw talk, man. This was some real raw talk tonight, and the most important thing, we let everybody have their say and their belief and their experience. Like that's what I love about this show. Like everybody has their experience. Everybody's entitled to it. Just because they experience something doesn't mean you haven't experienced something different, and vice versa. I think the issue with a lot of people is I know my experience is what's supposed to be across the board. No, and that's not true for anybody. I don't care what your sexual orientation is. I don't care what your gender is. What you've experienced is not everybody's fucking experience. Pert. So since everybody's acting broke tonight, I am the fuck up out of here.
So I guess that song Friday Night Just Got Paid ain't applying in 2023.
No, it's not applying. They're holding on to their purses. That's fine.
This is strip club hours.
I guess.
Okay, here the YouTube first came through.
Yes.
What, we got a super chat? Oh,
what is that?
It was YouTube.
What is that? What is that? It looks like a mountain. What is that picture?
Is it lightning? Is it lightning?
No, the thumbnail, Lily. The thumbnail.
I guess that's how he sees himself.
Right. Himself as Andrew Tate, but he's a fucking sumo wrestler.
All right, guys, we got to be fair. YouTube Press did drop $5 on a super chat. Thank you, YouTube Press.
Oh, that's a whip. Okay, I didn't know what that was.
It's a little whip. He says supposed to be a party favor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, guys. So let's give YouTube Press his $5 worth. Thank you for that. Shall we ask a question?
Are we going to stay on this topic or are we going to go to something else? How do we want to do this? Because we got things to talk about. One thing we can do is talk. So, like,
we can talk. Let's drop a little sauce. Who wants to ask a question? It could be anything. It could be this subject, next subject, or whatever. Who wants to ask a question?
Okay. How about we let the chat ask a question?
Yeah, either one of the okay, I get it. He said his thumbnail is fantasy versus reality. I've seen those before. Okay. So chat or lurkers, you could drop a question for all of us or one of us in the chat. Lurkers or people in the chat, if you've ever been curious about anything, and let's be honest when we're asked the question. You can ask myself, you can ask Lily, you can ask No Saint, you can ask Haran, you can ask one of us a question about someone else on the panel, if it's something that we think or know or whatever. So drop a question in the chat about anything. It could be any subject, about any of us, to us, or to us about someone else.
Yes.
Any question at all. Come on, lurkers. I see ya.
And now I'm getting scared.
This is the opportunity for y'all to
I feel challenged. I'm like, let's do it. Let's ask a question.
I like the challenge, but I like the scare part too. I'm weird like that. It's like watching a scary movie. You like to be scared. I'm getting pleasure off of my anxiety right now. It's weird.
Ask a
Maybe that's
question.
my
Any
new
question.
kink.
There you go. It's like pick a card, any card. Ask a
Ooh, that
question.
turns me on.
Any question. Ask any question. We'll give you a
All
couple
of a sudden,
minutes. I
y'all
know.
silent.
What happened?
All of a sudden, these motherfuckers are silent. Nobody want to ask
We hear
nothing.
crickets now. It takes a minute for people to think and throw it in the chat. So
He said I'd ask something, but I'm shy. You too, Press. You be here the whole time. You
YouTube
always
press, you
saying
are
funny
not shy,
stuff.
sir. You are not
Right.
shy, sir.
You be always put your jokes in and stuff. So I know you could ask something.
It could be any question. Drop a question. We will answer it. Either about us, about any subject, If you just walked in the room, drop a question for any of us or all of us. If you want all of us to answer, drop that question. Black Lexicon. Thank you for the super chat,
Good
Black
question.
Lexicon.
They're right here. Hold on.
Okay. Lily got an answer now.
Yep, I got an answer. So this is the thing. I know you can hear me, but you can't see me because I'm grabbing these.
Black Lexicon says, what's Lily's favorite perfumes?
My favorite hold on, I got one sitting here. I got so much shit over here, you all. Okay, anyway, I'm just gonna grab this. So this is the thing. I'm obsessed with smells, right? I'm obsessed with smelling good. I'm obsessed with my place smelling good because I have a very keen sense of smell. So I smell literally every fucking thing, you all. Like no one wants that damn gift because it's a curse. I literally smell everything. Okay, so because of that, I like perfume, but I can't really wear it like that. So I have all of this beautiful perfume over here and everything. I grabbed the wrong one. I was trying to grab Ribbon by Mariah Carey. That's one of the ones I like. But when I wear perfume, I kind of got to wear it like low. It can't be too close to my, like I literally spray it on my legs and shit because I can't really wear it, but I prefer to smell it on somebody else. So instead I got to do either oils or I just do the body splashes from Bath and Body Works. So my absolute favorite is the pink, this used to be called Pink Chiffon, but they changed the name. It's Pink Chiffon, y'all, but now it's Pink Pineapple Sunrise. And that comes from Bath and Body Works. And then I got another one, 1,000 Wishes from Bath and Body Works, and this one has like the shimmer.
Like shiny.
Yeah, so it looks good on my chest. Like if I put it on now, so then when I'm out in the summertime, then you can see the glitter and the so it really brings attention. So yeah, that's it.
My mama always told me your shoulders need to be shiny and your hands need to be moisturized.
And I like my collarbone shiny.
Yes. So David Dillon, we will take questions, y'all. We are taking now's your chance. Y'all watch us. Y'all been watching us for years. David Dillon. You've been watching us for years. Ask. You're curious about me, Lily, No Saint or Ron, or you want to ask the fellas something that they think about us, or ask us something we think about the fellas, or what we know, whatever. We'll drop tea. We're dropping tea before we go. We are dropping tea. Don't play this back and be like, I got a question. We're here. We're dropping tea for y'all. Okay. David Dillon says, would any of the three of you live in Las Vegas after visiting? I'm trying to get them out here.
Right. Jen's been trying to get us to move since we've been in Vegas.
We need to live together.
I can live with these four.
I think it's going to happen. I just don't know how soon for me. It's either that or right on the edge of Utah and being able to make the 2-hour journey, because I've already kind of discussed it anyway. I was already looking at Utah at one point. I like Vegas enough. It just, we'll see how the landscape is in a few years. Once I'm out, I get out of this job, maybe it's sooner than later. Who knows? We'll see. But I definitely love, and I've always loved out West ever since I moved to California when I was my first station out in California. The weather is fabulous. It's gorgeous. The western part of the United States is just gorgeous. And so, when I went out there this last trip and we spent time together, I was like, man, I got that bug again. Like, I need to. And now that I know people, I have my friend of 20 something years out there. I know Jen now, and I've met other people, this trip. We've met other people that still are in the area. And of course, it'd be great if both Haran and Lily also make the trip out there or make the move. We'll see. But yeah, I would definitely move out there.
Of course I would. Prostitution is legal.
Jesus, Joseph, and Mary J. Blige. What am I gonna do with that?
Aside from the prostitution, Haran, would you move out to Vegas?
Any kind of decision like that would have to be made after Z reaches a certain age. But yeah, I mean, these three people, I could actually, I could live with them. I could live around them. I can do that.
And for me, I am like New York to the core, but I always wanted a second place, so I can do a second place.
You could Airbnb the New York place, Lily.
Oh, I'm already going to do that. I'm already doing that. I'm already going to do that anyway because I'm planning on having a second place and and Airbnb in it. So yeah.
Black Lexicon, thank you for the super chat and the question. Black Lexicon says, Jen, what's your favorite perfume for her and men? I'm simple, Gucci Guilty and Gucci Bamboo. Gucci Guilty and Gucci Bamboo, depending. I like Gucci Guilty for night and Gucci Bamboo for day. And there's also this lotion, Dr. Teal's coconut lotion. But pause, it does not smell like any other coconut lotion. Take it out of your head what you think of coconut lotions. It does not smell like the average coconut lotion. This thing smells like you're literally in the Caribbean, like you're in the Bahamas or Turks and Caicos or Puerto Rico, and it's such a light coconut.
I like light. Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful, like it's a refreshing like a baby coconut. If anyone's ever eaten a baby coconut, it's different than a coconut. So the Dr. Teal's coconut lotion with the vitamin E, I love how that smells if I'm not going to wear a perfume.
YouTube Press had an interesting one.
Wait, but and for men, honey, I haven't been around a man for a long time. I mean, fucking years. So I can't answer that. So I don't know. Next time I'm around a man hugged up or whatever, and I smell it, I'll ask him what his cologne is. But I honestly haven't been around a man that close, that intimate for years.
I have one for men that will shock you all. I used to, at a small point in time, when I started YB Limited and I was still working my job and I was trying to transition out of my job, I did Mary Kay for a short period and they started selling men's stuff. And they had a men's cologne. So my director or whatever, she gave me some to give to my then partner, my then boyfriend. And that shit smelled so fucking good to the point. I'm sitting there doing dishes one day. Homeboy had to go to the doctor or whatever he had to do that day. And he walked past, he was like, bye, babe. I went, where the fuck you going? He was like, to the doctor, not smelling like that. Because like the way that affected me, like that shit turned me the fuck on. And I'm like, you're going to go out into the world smelling like that? Like it smelled that good. I never thought a fragrance would make me feel that way. I felt like so crazy even feeling that way and thinking that way.
Like gray sweatpants, letting your man go out the door in gray sweatpants.
I hate when men do that. I be feeling like punching them in the back of the head. When
and we were laughing today. We was down 125th, me and Orlando today. We were laughing about that today. Why was like every dude trying to like go out their way to show their piece? Like it was the funniest thing. We was like, is this a new fad? Is this a new thing? Like what the fuck is going on? Crazy.
Play with your mama. Don't play with
I guess my Eros, my
this is the lotion right here.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out.
It smells so good. YouTube Press says, have you ever used Jell-O in the bedroom or any room? No Jell-O. Other foods, yeah, but not Jell-O.
Yeah,
I don't like food and sex.
I've used foods, but things can get messy real quick. So
yeah,
oh my
I was
God.
gonna
I
say
like food and sex. I do not like food and sex.
I actually bought some of the. Well, I bought edible underwear. I bought some of the stuff I don't even know what you call it. It's like a gel that you put down there. Well, some of the gel that actually has that vapor feeling. It's supposed to be really good. And I've also used something else that tastes really sweet. And I find it, I don't know, it's kind of distracting. It's
Right.
kind of like sticky, and even whipped cream. I'm like, okay, it's cool to try it, but it really, I mean, are we just doing it because that's what you see on TV?
Right. There's certain things that look good on
Am I here to
TV,
have
but when you
sex, or am I
try
here to have
it,
a meal? Which is it? Or both?
But let me tell you, if you are going to venture into those things, just try foods that are more wet than sticky, and do it in a tub. Do it in a tub, in a bath together, or
Snorkeling.
shower together. You know what I mean?
Snorkeling with it.
yeah, there's certain things that do look good on TV and movies, and you try to, you're like, this is not so sexy. This is not sexy.
Club Gems with A Rock says, "Are we still on the butt play topic? If you'd like to add something, feel free. But we talked booties for 2 hours. Right now, we're doing questions from the chat just for a few more minutes. Any questions the chat may have about me, about Lily, about No Saint, about Haran, feel free to ask. If you've ever been curious about us, about something, feel free to ask. If you want to ask us something, if you want to ask one individual something about somebody else, like what I think about Lily or No Saint or Haran, vice versa, everybody, you can throw that in the chat as well. We're answering tonight. You guys are interviewing us tonight. That is what we're doing for the next few minutes. This is an interview.
Close
the door.
Yeah.
This subject was great tonight. I'm just thinking that, and I've said this before on previous shows, that there is a certain pressure on people of color that white community does not have to deal with. Another privilege of ours, because it's so true. Like, I totally expect to hear some of the things I heard tonight from Haran. And like I said, for me, I've always, for myself, it's nothing's in my life growing up. Nothing has ever been, even when I was in a cult, when I didn't think gay people was a big deal, even though the religion kind of taught that it was, you know what I mean? And there is something to that, having that freedom to where I can walk out with a thong and say, I don't care. Or I can say to you that, yeah, I would smash that transgender woman. She looks hot. And it's like, well, somebody might say you're gay, and I'm like, well, somebody might. What's that mean? Because there's a freedom to that, though. There's a freedom, even though people could watch it here at work. Yeah, so what? I mean, so what? What do you? It doesn't. At the end of the day, I'm only responsible for my family and myself. And that's the way I feel,
Yeah, you hear that, Haran? Let it go, let it go.
Yeah, sure, as long as it doesn't go directly in my ass.
Vegatron says, to me, when you get to doing all that, it means the sex life is
good. No, that means that you're interested in keeping it good or keeping it spicy and interesting. So,
which is important.
It was very important. Yeah. I think it's good to explore with your partner. I think it's great. I think it's fucking great.
You'll find like the people that are especially long-term stars, like in music, will try a lot of stuff because they have so many options. That it just, like, if you try the same thing over and over again, it might be good, but let's spice this up a little bit.
Steven Tyler, lead singer of Aerosmith. And yesterday I did a huge mistake. I was talking about the black real estate mogul in New York City, Don Peebles. I said Rob Peebles by mistake. It's Don Peebles. My bad. My big bad. What was I going to say? What was I on the? I was on
Steven Tyler.
Oh, Steven Tyler. Thank you. Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. He said that, he did enough drugs to kill an elephant, and he's tried every sex that you can imagine, and he even tried being gay. He was like, I tried it wasn't for me. And I totally believe how he said it.
Let's talk about
why he said it. He was like, I tried it, it wasn't for me.
Let's talk about that. I think let's explore that.
Are we going to call him gay?
Let's explore that, because we know like we know that a woman can try it and say, "Oh, not for me." Keep it moving. No one will ever bring it up. For a man, it's a scarlet letter, right? Especially in the Black community, but I think in general, like that goes beyond the Black community. So, I am with you, Jen. There's certain things that I think people may try and say, no, not for me. But I think because of how we're raised and everything like that, we have these certain things around sex that it's just like, no, I won't and I can't be, but they can't tell you why, right? So I've been wanting to like explore that as well and think like, that's very interesting that a man has to wear a scarlet letter behind exploration, but a woman doesn't. Just like a a white man like No Saint could be sexually free, but a Black man cannot be sexually free. So these double standards exist around sex, race, income, religion, and all of that.
Right. It's like, and we noticed that, speaking of the music game, like Aerosmith said that, and people thought nothing of it. No one's like, oh, he's gay. But Tank talked about, what did Tank talk about that one time?
He likes his ass ate, and I think he likes the finger in the butt as well.
Yeah, and then he's like, and then there were
no.
Just hurry up, get to it, because it's late around the drama.
He said if you suck a dick after 2 times, that makes you gay. He said if you suck it just twice, you're gay. Tank said if you suck a dick just twice, you're not gay.
Okay. So example whether so example had a white man said that, had Aerosmith said that, nobody would think anything of it. You'd never playing his music. You would have been playing his music, and Aerosmith literally said, "I tried being gay. I tried it." So that means that he indulged in the act, and he was like, "Hey, it wasn't for me. I tried it. It wasn't for me. I did a certain amount of drugs. After a while, I got sick of that too." And nobody even blinks an eye, which goes back to what No Saint said. But Tank literally talked on a podcast, and it could have been true or not true. That's the thing. He could have been capping.
Right. But people they lose their mind. They lose their fucking mind. It is
that's the whole that is the whole point. So there is a racial component to this thing, and it's a shame. And that's why a lot of Black men are vanilla in bed. They got Jesus on their back, they got mama on their back, Big Mama on their back.
The
homie. Oh, the homie is even bigger than both Jesus and
mama.
And Big Mama.
Yeah, the homies do take precedence over Jesus and Mama. Yeah, hell yeah.
I told a couple of friends of mine this story about one time before I was doing a shoot, and I was slimmed down. I was about maybe 10% body fat, and I shaved down. I got waxing and so on and so forth or whatever for the shoot. And these motherfuckers lost their mind. They thought it was some gay shit. I'm like, nah, just prepared myself for the shoot because the lighting and so on and so forth, all that hair would have looked weird. That shit turned into a huge fucking thing.
I'm sure.
A huge fucking thing because I shaved my fucking, and you seen my fucking body hair, Jen. I got hair all over my fucking body. You know what I mean? So that would have not have looked great, under certain lighting, you know what I mean? So I shaved down, and that shit was a huge fucking thing. A huge fucking thing.
I mean, some men still run around with bush, you know what I mean, between their legs, because it's like, oh, I don't want to look gay. It's like, all right, so run around with a stinky dick. I don't care. This Vegatron said, but he's off with this comment. He says, luckily we don't have to try to be white. I'm solid. I don't have to within parity with what to within. I don't know what that word. Are you saying parity? What with white men? We can all do our thing. No one is saying that Black men should be like white men. What we're saying is that Black men are vanilla and they're not as free as white men. We're not saying that you have to be like white men. We're saying that you're reserved and conservative, okay? Unlike white men. No one is saying you got to be like white men. We don't want Black men to be like white men. That is not what we're saying. We're saying that y'all are conservative, reserved, okay, and restricted sexually because that's that white thing. And white boys do that.
I think it also overflows into into a lot of other things. Like you have to be a certain way to be, you can't be you see it in school. You can't be smart, or you can't be nerdy. You're trying to be white if you speak a certain way. So there's that pressure in a lot of, and this is just an observation from the outside, but that's how I see it. Because like I said, until I started interacting a lot on here, there is a mold that you perceive from people of color that they're like this, and they're not, like when Haran talks about, politics, or talks about degeneracy, you don't really hear that very much on the street. You know what I mean? There's a certain way that there's pressure to be a certain way in a lot of different aspects in life, from my observation. That's why I say, for me, I don't have those pressures. I don't have to be anything for anybody. You know what I mean? And so it is free. It's a freeing thing, and it just bleeds over into talking about things like we're talking about tonight.
This is the last thing I'm gonna talk about, and I've seen it, and y'all all have done it, and I've seen a number of you brothers do it. Tonight, what you saw, and you always see it. Most of the time, people think that Jen and I don't disagree with each other. They think I always agree with her. It's not the case. See, what you want is that I'm a black man and this is another ethnic woman. In your mind, you're conditioned that I'm always supposed to disagree with her. But you see, here's the thing. A lot of you brothers are very submissive when it comes to white women.
Let's not talk about
it. You don't really argue that much when it comes to white women, though.
Miss Bessie got him a check.
Baby.
But you argue a lot when it comes to black women because you're expected to.
I've seen it.
And another thing too is that here's the thing. Most of the time, a lot of you come for me, but when No Saint actually agrees with Jen, you don't say anything because you're conditioned not to say anything when it comes to white men.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
You think I don't check?
Back to conditioning.
See, that's the joke on you because you don't even see what you're doing, but I see it. A lot of times I'm just trying to help y'all out. But you dudes a lot of times you act like submissive bucks. You think you're alphas until you got to deal with another race of people. Then your voice gets lower. You get real, you get real small and you get real quiet. So I'm gonna end it on that note.
Order in the court. So it's interesting that they accuse you of being submissive to me, but then they're submissive to No Saint, which takes it back to what No Saint said. That black men have to be a lot of things to satisfy a lot of people.
Here's the irony of it. I'll get in an argument with No Saint and George without a problem. You dudes won't, though. You'll be real quiet when George says some off-kilter shit. Yeah. Or things get a little crazy when white people come up here. I don't see you dudes checking nobody.
But the black man.
But you want, but you stay on my dick.
That's true though, because I've never seen them type No Saint's name in or George's name in. It's like they're conditioned like whatever the white man says stands. Wow.
And they're conditioned to fight other black people. I mean, it's just that simple.
And that's why when No Saint has agreed with me, but when you agree with me, Haran, it's a problem. Because you're not supposed to agree with the other colored woman on the panel. You're supposed to fight me.
And put her in her place. Put her in her place.
Let me tell you something. Jen isn't even 5% as dangerous as Pearly thinks. Well, who's bigger? She is.
And who put her there?
Who's got more support from black men?
I was about to say, who put her there? Black men.
Who left the moment she got a bag? Who left it quicker?
Because when they talk about America,
let me pull y'all cards out here tonight. I'm trying to be nice to you niggas. I really am half the time, but I could really pull a lot of cards on a lot of you dudes, man. I see you out here, man. You're real quiet and you're mousy when you're around these white, YouTubers. When you're around all these other people, man. But you talk real tough when you're in a room with other black people. But anyway, going forward.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. I never know how to pronounce this name. Kathy, Kofi, Zoker. Negativity and gossip is what sells on social media. Yeah, and I'm not about to pander or pretend I don't like women or men or whoever. I'm not gonna do that. You guys know I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. Well, the truth was.
And another thing too, this is the last thing. Even if I had a huge issue with her, whatever huge issue I have with her, I'm doing that behind the scenes because I'm not gonna be rated on no fucking camera. This is my fucking friend. I don't know you, nigga. I don't even know who you look like.
To berate your friend to entertain these people that you don't know. Right, exactly.
You feeling some sort of revenge fantasy you had because you and your baby mama is caught up in court every fucking 5 minutes? I'm not that dude.
Not a revenge fantasy. Like, come on, destroy her, berate her, so I can feel better about this bitch and this child support.
Man, it is. Like, I don't know you. Who you?
I mean, look at the comments in Rolo's chat. That's all you see is a bunch of hurt men wanting destroy her, attack her, raw. Like it's like wow. But look, but then Pearly comes on. And I just, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just repeating talking points. What do I think? Oh, hold on. Let me pull up my phone and see what I think. Okay, I think women shouldn't vote. I think I overheard it at a dinner party. Yeah, and they just be like, super chat.
You know what that bitch said? You know what that bitch said? She said she thinks that women have been treated for the past 100 years. Women have been treated way too nice and cordial, and women should not be treated nice or cordial. And men eat it up like, yes, let's destroy women.
You know some real amazing shit. Anybody who comes up here that whatever dude that agrees with Jen or whatever, you know what I mean. Y'all quick to say that these dudes are beta, whatever the fuck. But then y'all be in the trap. He like, Jen, step on my balls, and Jen, I love if you dominate me, Jen, and like wow, relax, man.
Relax.
But anyway, I'm good tonight.
YouTube press said, "Why are you worried about a man named after God?" Nobody's worried about anybody up here. We good. Yeah, ain't nobody worried about anybody up here. Trust. If nothing else, trust that.
Oh yeah, I thought that was a candy.
That's an old ass candy. Nobody eats that anymore.
Old ass candy.
No. Who the fuck is Brolo? See, but YouTube is fat, so he probably has all the candies, the new ones and the old ones. He got all the candies. He got the whatchamacallit. The sugar daddy.
Oh my God,
the Charleston Chew. The Charleston Chew.
The Chico sticks.
Oh, I love me a fucking Chico stick, man.
I ain't see the Chico. Last time I saw a Chico stick, it was in my pocket when I was running away.
Well, listen, next time y'all come to Vegas, there's a candy shop in Town Square, and they have every candy ever invented. Every candy, candy, cigarettes, everything.
Jen, I'm shocked that you didn't ask me to bring you something from here, like something that you love from New York that you could only get in New York. I'm so shocked. Like, I'm just now thinking about that.
No, I forgot about that too. There was something, and I forgot.
What's that one that's like it's called is it called beeswax or something? It's like it's square and almost like it's hard, square, and it's almost like a peanut butter type.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I like this peanut chews because I love peanut chews.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, I love peanut chews.
What about the marathon? Did they have the marathon in Vegas? Remember the marathon? It was
I don't know because we would have to look in that store, but I know I needed to buy candy cigarettes for this roll I did, and they had them in there, and they have all the old every candy you could think of. Is literally just a candy shop, and it's on its own.
They had the Reggie Jackson.
Check that out.
They had baby.
We gotta go in there. We're going in next time. We're going in next time we get together.
I think we got to do a month next time.
I'm telling y'all, we got to do a month.
I'm starting to pick my vacation next month. I'm just gonna pick. My first pick's gonna be around. I'm guessing around April, and then that way I can pick either going that way to March or that way towards May. And I could probably get a whole month off because I got to pick once and then it's got to go around and come back to me. And there's only so many people you can have off in a day. But if I pick in that spot, I think it'd be good if that's what we agree to.
I think Vegas would be great because we have so many resources here.
We do.
You know what I mean? Before we start venturing out, because I want to do a cruise as well. But before we start venturing out, like there's a lot of
And
resources here.
if we're there for a month, we could do some LA stuff too.
Hell, fuck yeah! And
We
we
can
could
even
do
do
his.
a week in
We could do
LA.
no Saints fucking rock trip. He wants to take us to go see
Utah.
rocks.
No saying, you know I'm down with you. I got your back on that one, no saying. I
Well,
got your back.
me and Harana be in Malibu. Okay, y'all go look at the rocks. Me and Harana be in Malibu.
Well, the last time me and no saying was at the Rock. I was bad talking you all on camera.
I saw that. You said we was communists. We wasn't there. I'm like, I need water. Let's go to Malibu. Shit.
But I feel you're a water person. That's why I like real person.
If there's some open mics or something out there that I could actually maybe get me some footage of me.
Yeah,
That's
there's lots of that.
Whatever.
There's
I was trying to see that. I'm
lots
sure they
of
do.
that out here.
Vegas, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure they got some shit like that.
Vegas. All right, guys. So we are out of here. Panel, fall back for 2 seconds. I got to tell y'all something. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe. Thank you for so many people watching tonight. I hope you liked us. And next time you have the cojones to either jump in our chat or jump on our panel. If you enjoyed the show, please Cash App On the Block with Jen and support the show. That way it's discreet. Maybe you don't want to throw your chips out in public. You can throw it on Cash App On the Block with Jen. And if you want me to shout you out that you're a sponsor for the show, for your Cash App, throw it in the notes. I will do that. No problemo. We will see you guys here tomorrow. And I like tonight. So we'll think of another spicy one for tomorrow because it was definitely jumping tonight. Thank you, chat, for holding us down and being hilarious. Nobody got blocked today, right? Did anybody get blocked tonight?
No, nobody got blocked. Everybody was great.
Everybody survived. Everybody survived. Okay. So we see you guys mañana. Thank you so much for your support. Good night, guys.
Good night.